This will have been a really brief intro, actually. I was streaming on the wrong channel without even realizing it, unfortunately, and therefore it will have been, like I said, basically no introduction whatsoever. Playoffs are happening as we speak, and this is going to be an interesting match to say the least. One thing I also do realize is that my camera has a bunch of wrong settings. If we put that kind of, and maybe make things a bit more bright, not too much. The lights are like not pointed at me whatsoever. Wow, I am. Yeah, I thought I was more ready than this, but apparently I was not. Hello everybody, how are you doing? Tonight's going to be the upper finals between Vendetta Esports and OnlyFans. Basically, the team that wins this match tonight is at the very least guaranteed second place, which is, nothing to laugh at, right? So it has a lot of value. It has a lot of, I want to say, incentive for both teams to play as best as they can, absolutely. But also, it will be a match played in a best-of-3 fashion. Therefore, there's no easy way or no quick way to put an end to the game, right? You have to win a few couple of games back to back. And both these teams, of course, have earned their way up until here. Therefore, of course, both these teams will be at odds of winning, right? We've seen blowout matches happening from time to time in the main season, but here this is just not going to be the case. Definitely not. So we have picked both of our maps right now. Aragon will be the first one, picked by OnlyFans, and Vendetta have selected Villa as a second one. Let me just note that in the caster's notebook. Aragon first. Second one would be Villa. And therefore, now it's going to be time to pick the tiebreaker, the third map, should we have to go there. Clubhouse, Coastline, and Theme Park are still at play. So which out of these maps, which ones could we realistically expect to see play? That is actually a really good question because, to be honest, it's kind of a tough one. I don't expect to see Theme Park played. Theme Park is not a fan favorite by a long shot. It's still played and all, still fairly balanced, but not a favorite. Okay, so with this map out of the way, are we going to be playing Clubhouse or are we going to be picking Villa as a third? Coastline, rather. And I have to say, these two maps here, Coastline and Clubhouse, kind of tend to be two of the favored maps. And oh gosh, did that go away? That went by pretty quickly. It will be Theme Park, Clubhouse, Band. Therefore, Coastline is our third. And what else is there? Well, who starts on attack? Who starts on defense? OnlyFans will be beginning on offense for their first map. They will be playing defense for their second map. And finally, they'll be playing defense again for the third map. All right. Awesome. Without further ado, guys, I want to say let's jump right into it because, of course, this is what we're here to see, right? Let's just prepare this. Central US is this is the server we're looking for. And let's see. I'm inviting you guys soon. All right. So on the one hand, Sarah's will get an invite. On the other hand, was it .vd is going to be easier because their team composition does tend to change up a little bit from time to time. Not CD, but VD. Austin and Fawn both are in a do not disturb mode, but they should still get the invites. Yo, OnlyFans team, what the fuck is that? What that team? Mizu, I don't know. To be honest, it is a hell of a name. Oh, by the way, I'm still tagged as streaming in French. Yeah, let's just change that because if not, some people are gonna come in here and be quite confused as to why they don't understand anything. Yeah, OnlyFans, they're just better is something AKA Wiz says. A name that will finish first. No, but to be honest, it's the team is kind of a meme, right? They picked a goofy name, but to be honest, and this is something that I found kind of reminiscent of the old ESL's Go 4. You have teams that have a crazy name, teams that have a logo that means absolutely freaking nothing. But then the name and the label you put on the players is meaningless. What really does matter is the players, performances and whatever they can, perform in game. And this is where sometimes you tend to get, I want to say, surprised. Because to be honest, I've seen from time to time, like, these players that you see the team and you think to yourself, okay, they're just trolling, right? The team name makes absolutely no sense. So they can hardly be playing or hardly be taking themselves seriously, can they? And the answer apparently was yes. For example, OnlyFans. But whoa, Vendetta Esports' logo twice up there. No, that doesn't make any sense. That makes no sense whatsoever. Let me just fix that real quick. Yeah, Vendetta. Let me just give you. Oh no, that's your old logo. That's your old logo. I don't have your logo in that folder. Oh gosh. Tell me I have it somewhere in the downloads folder or something. God damn it. Plus the players are joining in. How do I not have your current logo? It's actually funny. It is funny. It is funny. Where the heck do I have the VD logo? Oh gosh. Okay. Okay, let me just do this, and here it is. Sometimes things turn out better than you expect. Okay, I believe all 10 players are in here. No, not all 10. 9 of them are, though. Yeah, terminate that. Yeah, the anecdote I wanted to open up was regarding we're running this league in EU as well, and we have the team's logos in there. And I was surprised, like, this kind of goofy looking. I cannot zoom in. Okay. This kind of goofy-looking grandma in an oversized, yellow vest is the team logo of a team that performed surprisingly well, considering they presented themselves as being a bunch of a bunch of goons. But hey, things happen. Hey, I see all 10 of you are in there. Are your mosses running? Are you guys ready to do this? Hey, how you doing? I do have one thing, though, to prepare. Blue team is going to be called OnlyFans. Orange team is going to be called Esports with an S. Okay, let me just hope the move went well. Toothless, did I move? Wait, what? I don't want to rehost. I just want to update this to swap them out. Good. Okay, so Sarah's saying we're not ready. I'll be waiting for your confirmation before we start. AK was saying our OnlyFans are so cool. By the rules, they got 8 minutes. I mean, yeah, right. You're right. But I mean, realistically speaking, I fully expect that they'll be ready within 8 minutes. What about saying he's banned from talking?
I'm just looking out for my team.
No, you're good. You're good. Yeah. This is something like other admins have told me about. I mean, something interesting is sometimes you will see teams, and we're quite lucky to have been spared of this kind of phenomenon in the Titans League, but in the Summer Cup, which will merge with us starting next season, they had a team that was particularly, I want to say, protest happy. Whenever they lost, they try to protest anything to try to get a win out of the situation. And that made for some really sticky situations. It doesn't appear to be the case here too much, but, the rules are still the rules. So, for example, here are the players underlining that OnlyFans have 8 minutes to be ready as, per the rules. Technically not false, but I mean, all 10 players are in here, right? There's going to be the one that maybe has gone to the bathroom, maybe got a bottle of water. I got mine right here. And maybe you have, like, the one player who still needs to start up Moss at most. At most. Yeah, Zervex, yeah, all esports teams' images are. However, I mean, when you're talking about, for example, a professional organization and legit business, let's say G2 or any other name, right? BDS. those are legit businesses, so they still need to have some kind of public image, and I'm going to say good karma, to use a really broad term here, to make sure that, for example, their merch is desirable. Therefore, people will be interested in buying it. Oh yes, it is not our clubhouse, it is Oregon. Thank you, guys. I got you, my man. Thank you. So yeah, for example, right here, this is where having an obviously goofy facade, obviously goofy image could maybe bite them in the butt. But right here, I highly doubt that OnlyFans are trying to sell, I don't know, jerseys with that logo, right? So here, they still can afford to just goof around. And to be honest, it is quite surprising that, like, you would expect such a goofy name to just be like a POG team, right? Once again, talking about ESL's Go 4. Oh, hey, let's just make a team. Let's just play for the Go 4 tonight, and let's just have some fun and hang around with a bunch of buddies. And then they don't really care about their team logo, team image, that kind of stuff. But when you get a bit more serious, this is where things can get pretty interesting pretty quickly. Navy, hey, how are you doing, my man? À chaque fois que je vois ça, à chaque fois, j'espère que c'est pas un jeu joué avec les follow. Navy, t'aimes pas ça quand je joue avec les follow? So just checking in, I was doing my monologue for the stream, didn't pay attention too much to the game chat. Are you guys ready? How are things looking?
Hey, Hans, I love you.
Hey, Ayuz. Okay, so Vendetta seem to be ready. OnlyFans, how are things looking on your side?
We're not ready.
Maxim.
All right. So you know what? This might be as good a time as any to prepare a little something for you guys. Let's go on. How is it called? It's called Strawpool. Strawpool.me. Who are you rooting for? Let's type OnlyFans.
We are ready.
And VD. All right. Well, you know the drill. If your mosses aren't running, now is your last reminder to start them up. We are in upper final playoffs after all, so there might be some incentive for you to run them. Other than that, good luck, have fun, and may the best team win, guys. And let's jump right into it. I still wanted to just toss this in this chat real quick. Let's see what you guys think. And I was going to, display this on the stream, but it may be a bit late for that tonight. So let's just hope. Let's just see what you guys are thinking. In the meantime, we are going with the operator bans. This is going to be Oregon with OnlyFans starting on attack. Thatcher will be our first ban of the night. So we are definitely going after, hard breaching capabilities. We want to make sure that our reinforced walls remain as secure and as predictable as possible. If it is just too easy to destroy reinforced walls, well then you totally do change up the main meta of Rainbow Six Siege. Montaigne will also get banned, and this is something I want to say I didn't exactly see coming for two reasons. First and foremost, Montaigne, okay, I mean, for example, you could still ban, say, Maverick, right? And then you would further, or you would even more impede the hard breaching capabilities of the attackers. However, here we're talking about OnlyFans, they themselves are attacking, so they wouldn't want to shoot themselves in the foot. Makes sense. But then the other thing is Montaigne isn't exactly like maybe the best operator ever in that kind of situation. Simply because you are still going to be having a few open spaces, right? You could be really, really good when you're talking about a basement push, and so maybe that was the main the main reason behind the ban. Okay, this also does check out at the end of the day. The main thing that got me somewhat confused, though, is simply put the reason as to why you'd want to ban him, because it is not the kind of operator you ban outright just because or just to make sure. You would usually want to remove operators, Montaigne, when you only have a player that kind of mains maintaining the other team, referring, for example, to Kenny in the Mishmash Gaming team. They do consider that their Montaigne main is the best T3 NA T3 Montaigne player And, you know, that would lend some credibility, or that would give a lot of merit to a Montaigne ban. But right here, neither of these two teams has a history of playing this pesky operator. So this is where I am a little bit baffled. Not too much, ultimately, but I still wanted to point it out, right? And yeah, who are you rooting for? OnlyFans are taking the cake on that front, apparently. Okay. Is it just me, or is the game volume a tiny bit low? Let's just leave it at that, and let's take a look at the first defense here. Vendetta Esports will have elected to defend dorms first, and let's see what it gives. So of course we're going to be seeing the hatch being opened right here, and for some reason Autobot is preparing a deployable shield, a Vulcan shield actually. The interesting thing is, why exactly do you want to put it there? Oh, I see. Okay. I had never seen this before, but it makes absolute sense. With the hatch being destroyed, you kind of force the attackers to be funneled towards the eastern side, you know, of the width of the corridor. And by having the, you know, a Vulcan shield right here, you can really easily deny access. It is really interesting to say the least. I have never seen this, like I said, but it was clever, to say the least. Hey, easy. Finally a match I can watch. It's looking promising, right? Your boys are in to, at the very least, be second. They're in, if they win this, they are basically in the grand final. The playoffs. The biggest game there's going to be. But they still have to triumph against OnlyFans first and foremost. And right here, Max is going to show us that he cares very little about any kind of electricity, jammers, or whatever kind of trick you might have up your sleeve. So there you have it. The first half has been destroyed. Toothless right here, absolutely ready to receive the pressure. But of course, he sees nobody. So what can he do? The opening is still way too narrow to toss in a natural cell. He might still want to try it, but oh gosh, this is not going to do too much now, does it? Saris does get a first kill, so he was able to open up the reinforced wall right here. And oh my god, this is going to put a lot of pressure. For example, Fond will receive... Oh, you guys pronounce his name Fonde, right? Fonde is going to have to move because the reinforced wall behind him is opening up, so he can no longer really hold off the pressure from the other side. Toothless has been able to rotate out, probably through the hatch, though I didn't catch it. And that really does leave you with a smoke that is going to be sorely exposed. Who banned first? Are you talking about the map ban? Map bans, OnlyFans got it, and the operator bans, it was Vendetta, since they're defending. So right here, Fondy was blinded, but that didn't do too much. So, of course, he didn't say anything, but didn't get rushed or didn't get pushed while he was, you know, powerless to defend himself. So there's going to be that. Sarah's in a full-on firefight. He does get a first kill on Autobot, but he's now on bomb side. Actually, he could plant. Yeah, Putin, he's out of a natural cell, unfortunately, because he could have done something really interesting, and he's gonna have to now, since he's last player alive in a 1v4 situation. Things are looking pretty bleak for him. Still, he has to try. This is not looking good, though. He is utterly defenseless, and Ayuz is going to use that advantage to his fullest potential. That flash grenade was really well timed. I mean, usually flash grenades don't do too much now, do they? Since you never know for sure if your opponent is going to be truly blinded. You never know if you can really rely on, you know, that advantage, and if you should rush in. But this time, it just so happened to be the right call. And the replays have not worked out too good because I had not started up the replay buffer. God damn it. That would have been a nice round to see, but unfortunately, we will have to wait for another one to you know, see them again. Nonetheless, this was a solid first round for OnlyFans. They are, you know, establishing a really good initial tempo for themselves. They were able to win this 4-0 if you want to count the number of operators alive at the end of the round. This is a huge advantage. You cannot say that they just won the round, you know, out of chance. Lucky wall bang, you know, lucky flashbang, anything along those lines. So really, they earned their victory, and Vendetta, if they want to win this, you know, they're going to go up top again. They are going to have to drastically change the way they play because, you know, just having an incremental, tiny update to the previous setup, considering how complete and utter of a disaster it was, you know, small incremental changes are just not going to cut it. However, it generally seems to be the same initial setup. I mean, bandit batteries, ADS devices, the Vulcan shield. This time, however, the hatch has not been destroyed. It was no. Last time it was a smoke. This time Austin's going to be playing with Ella, but it's still going to be reinforced shield or deployable shield right there. And you, of course, do see some first floor presence. Putin with both of his electro claws. I was wondering if he was going to use it, you know, to electrify from the verticality, but it looks like there's already bandit batteries. Maybe it will serve kind of a, I want to say, redundancy system. Should the bandit batteries get destroyed, you know, you would hypothetically still have the electro claw. Ultimately, it's just not gonna matter because we do have a Hibana that might be vulnerable to electricity, but you know, we saw what Saris did last time around, and he is, you know, positioning himself to once again push up, you know, from that walk-in closet. It is very likely to be Max, and you know, he's at it again. And you know, of course, Max, like last time, cares very little about any kind of reinforcements or any kind of electricity on a reinforced wall. Mani is absolutely ready, though. Is he going to chuck in a nade or something? He's trying to, you know, find an early kill. That's not going to work, though. Toothless has just attempted a run out of some sort. He didn't see anybody visibly, but hey, attempts have been made. That is good news, ultimately, for Vendetta Esports, since, of course, I don't want to say they got complacent last round, but they were fairly passive, right? And that I'll just let OnlyFans come to them, and of course, in that kind of situation, OnlyFans that get to dictate the terms of the firefight, and said terms are, of course, going to be favoring them. Right here, for example, Saris almost got caught while reloading, and that is the kind of initiative that Vendetta desperately need if they want to have a realistic shot at winning the round. Right here, Ayuz is kind of attempting to rush in or do something. It's not going to work too much. Right here, barely the tip of the... Was that a shoulder? Still, Putin is going to take some amount of damage. And right here, the flames can deal some amount of damage. Nothing too major. Austin's going to fall down at the same time, unfortunately. Now it's going to be up to... it's going to be up to Autobot. And he gets a kill, brings this back to a 3v3 situation. Neither team having the advantage. However, just as I say this, Amani gets a nice kill on Fonde. Toothless has to get back. He was looking for the air jab, didn't find it in time. He is on his back. Of course, he gets back up immediately, but his position was known, and that is a death sentence. Autobot, last player alive in a 1v3 situation, does not have diffuser. Barely holding a narrow angle on it, though. That's just not going to be enough, however. He could deny the plant by using his nitro cell, and that would remain, I want to say, his last good shot at getting a nifty, maybe even double kill. Oh, it might even work, to be honest. It does work! Amani falling down! Nicely done, but he still has 2 to go and only very little time to do so. Dio will be fairly weak, so he should be able to, you know, get taken out of the picture with 1 or, worst case scenario, 2 bullets. But Autobot is just as weak as Dio, so... yeah, things are not looking too good for him. He is absolutely taking every single precaution. The only precaution he wasn't taking was the running and the pre-firing. So his mission was known, and if that wasn't enough, of course, the air jab was just a death sentence at this point. I want to point out, however, that Vendetta did way better than they did last round, and therefore, should the improvements keep on happening at the same pace, it shouldn't be too long before they eventually win a round against OnlyFans. The main question I would have, you know, assuming eventually the orange team will gain a point, is how long is it going to take? Because if it takes too long, well, then OnlyFans may have an unbearable lead against Vendetta. So yeah, let's see how the orange guys fare in these next few rounds. They have lost at the top floor yet again. They could go there yet again, but, and trust me, because of course the replays are still showing, our next defense is going to go at the bottom, the basement floor. And at this point, it kind of indicates that Vendetta, even though they were able to improve upon their previous success, or the previous performance rather, it was still not enough to deem the situation salvageable in the first place. So they would rather basically try again with a blank slate. And this is exactly what's going to happen, but both teams are are going to be impacted by this. First and foremost, Vendetta, you know, their strategies won't be known. OnlyFans have to scout it out, you know, in real time. But also Vendetta don't know where the push is going to be coming from. Easy example, we knew that previously Max was going to open up the attic room, or the attic, I want to say corridor, and Hibana, played by Saris, was going to breach the walk-in closet. There you have Toothless, electrifying wall, and I gotta say, okay, there has to be a decision or a good reason for this, but I still fail to see it, because why would Hibana care about a reinforced wall, electrified reinforced wall, if there's just a blatant opening or rotation hole right next to said reinforcements. It just baffles me, but once again, there has to be a reason which I fail to see, basically. Dio will be holding the angle. He looks like he's going to be playing the entry fighter role, which a Nomad would rarely do. But for the time being, he's holding an angle more than anything else. But, you know, those flashbangs kind of indicate that he's going to be pushing in. And on the right-hand side, Putin is already using up some of his smoke canisters. He gets a first Toothless Mage at the same time, getting one, you know, in rapid succession. That was a 5v3, but right here, oh, and they're reinforcing, right? That's why. So the electricity was already there. Unfortunately, Toothless being dead, he cannot really replace or put down a second bandit battery. Therefore, you know, the attackers could open it up fairly easily. But then again, Ceres had been taken out of the picture just as fast as Toothless himself died. So ultimately, we're just talking, oh gosh, that was poorly tossed. We were just talking about a Maverick who, like I said time and time again, cares very little about electricity on reinforced walls. Amani will be pushing for boiler room, basically opening up a new front line and a new flank. He is looking to the left-hand side, but to be honest, his main problem is going to come from that angle right here. Autobot and Austin both holding the angles. Autobot being way more aggressive than Austin is about it. But still, it's basically two players trying to cut off or to paralyze any push on Amani's side. So far, it is working pretty great. And to be honest, especially considering that other attackers had to rotate through, mainly Dio here, having two defenders paralyzing up until now one single attacker was not a bad trade-off. But the unfortunate thing is they were unsuccessful in, for example, preventing Dio from rushing in. He is now on boiler room, on supply room rather. He gets a kill, looking for a second. Oh, he wanted to revive Max, it looks like, but that didn't work out too great. No, in a 1v3 situation, he is gonna have to play it by gun skill, basically. His air jabs could be nifty in a firefight, but he's out of them, right? One last flash grenade and no drones to go, plus his position is not, so that's not a drone at this point, would be suicide. He knows there's somebody right here, but the shotgun at that range. At that range, the shotgun is going to care very little about your presence or lack of flash grenades in your back pocket. There you have it, Putin winning Vendetta's first round. And I kind of assume here that the X stands for an I, because, I mean, the X's typically, they would stand for either an I, an O, or an A. And Putin does not sound too good, does it? So yeah, there you have it. I'm going to call Smoke Putin. Except if, you know, his gamertag really is pronounced otherwise. And if it's the case, please let me know. Because I have humiliated myself in the past one time too many to you know, I want to say mitigate the importance of properly displaying or properly pronouncing players' gamertags. But hey, ultimately, it was a solid round for Vendetta Esports. After all, they were able to, stop the bleeding. It was a small, I want to say, momentum that OnlyFans had, right? Only 2 rounds is minimal at best. But still, if you let the momentum get out of hand, you know, it is an accumulating effect, right? It just stacks up. So this is why it was important. And, you know, in the meantime, or by stopping the momentum, stopping the bleeding, they, of course, went around the process. The one thing that was going to get me a bit worried was the fact that after having won on laundry, they would have to go somewhere else, and I half expected them to go dorms since it was visibly their primary bomb site. It is not going to be the case, as you can see right here. We're going to be having a kitchen and dining room defense. By the way, Painstaker is saying, let's go OnlyFans. Good luck to you. As a caster, I have to be neutral, both teams. But definitely OnlyFans kind of seem to have the upper hand, though they're leading only by a single point. Plus, the game as a whole is still really young, so anything could still happen, to be honest. Autobot here playing with Clash. Fairly aggressive, because of course he wants to gather intel as quickly as possible, kind of stop the attackers, you know, as early as he can, kind of playing for time, right? You don't expect Clash to get too many kills. The point is to make first contact, slow them down, and feed intel. And feed intel, he will be doing just that. For example, right here, he had a visual on 3 attackers. Of course, he doesn't need a shield to realize or to, you know, state that Amani with Sledge is going to be at the top floor. but still, oh, we're looking above him, trying to get a kill. That could have worked. Oh, that could be really dangerous, actually, because that grenade is going to roll behind the shield. He tosses it out. It destroys the deployable shield, but nothing too major other than that. Yeah, it was dangerous. It almost worked, but it was barely not enough. Right here, this angle could have been really dangerous for IUs. Didn't end up costing anybody. But hey, Zofia almost got a kill there. And at the same time, right, the attackers are already going ham against the defense's, I want to say, preparation or barricades, right? Reinforced walls. We could hear, for example, right here, the X-Caros smoking and now exploding. So there's going to be another potential entry into the OBJ, since, of course, there has been a rotation hole blown into right here. The showers. So Ceres is going to be using said opening to his fullest potential. But, you know, Autobot was able to rotate back far enough to be still there and to still deny the attacker's entry. I gotta say, though, I mean, let's play make-believe for half a second. If somebody with the diffuser was to run up right behind the A-bomb, right, you know, in front right of Autobot's POV here, I don't think the defense would have an easy time denying that plant. Right here, Toothless getting a critical kill. Toothless Mage at the same time. No, Austin also getting a kill. So this is now going to give the defense a numerical advantage. Let's see exactly what the attackers want to do now. He was pinged, but that does not matter too much now that Ceres also had to step, you know, through the hologram here. One thing he doesn't realize is going to be Fawn's presence. Fawn saw that. He knows there's somebody on the left, but oh gosh, he didn't know how close to the left. Unfortunate. And right here is going to be Autobot attempting to deny that plant, failing to do so. But Austin with a double kill. Sarah's now last player alive, and of course it is going to be difficult because Autobot, though he's no great offensive operator, you only have to hold off the angle and to protect yourself while Austin hypothetically defuses, or counter defuses, should I say. Now that they know where it is. Oh, Russian in! That is dangerous! Why did you go in like that? Now Austin no longer has an easy way to destroy the diffuser. And he just rushes in, heads down. He couldn't do anything else, right? He had to get the kill, otherwise diffusing. Oh, they traded! It even was a trade! Oh gosh. It still is going to be OnlyFans victory. Since, of course, thing is, whenever you have a trade for a final kill, it is basically gonna bring the timer down to 0. So in the main round, the defense would win. But right here, since the time pressure was inverted and was, you know, putting stress on the defense, it therefore was the defense that is going to win it out. Yeah, that was really interesting. But I gotta say, Autobot, you should not have pushed in like that. If I had been in your shoes, I would just have, you know, filled in the doorway with my shield, and I would have asked my team to counter defuse that diffuser. It would have been the easiest way, in my opinion, to win with, I want to say, minimal risks. It is never 100% foolproof, right? Assuming, for example, that Ceres was to roam or rotate fast enough to, you know, circumvent the shield, it could have happened. But I have to say something. With the Observer, we, of course, I and you guys on the stream are all knowing after all, right? We see through the walls, we know where every single piece of utility, gadget is placed. So, you know, when you know where the drones and where the cameras are, you can also basically extrapolate what kind of intel either team has or lacks. And I gotta say, quite often, if you were to just stick with diffusing, wow, I did look for that word way too long. If you just stick with the diffusing right at the very first time, it is kind of assumed, or your opponents are kind of going to expect you to bait it out once or twice. And therefore, when you're not baiting it out, when you're not canceling your counter diffusing once or twice, the defender, or the attacker rather, might be kind of confused and might not expect you to stick it through. And that could have worked here. So, we could see that Vendetta were really successful in basically learning how OnlyFans play from their very first attempt and to do more, or to react accordingly. The easy example, though I failed to cast on it as it happened, was, you know, vaulting through the opening of that window right here. You know, Sledge just biting the dust immediately Ayuz has been able to make it in, and he's going to destroy the deployable shield. Of course, Autobot therefore will have to fall back. And now, if you look at the attacker's positioning, the unfortunate thing is you have lost Thermite. So, of course, armor breaching is going to be severely limited. You still do have Max, so he, you know, the nice thing is the blowtorch kind of allows you to breach in a freestyle. You can make the opening as big or as small as you want it to be. It is something that either Hibana or Thermite lack. Hibana can still toss 1, 2, or even 3 X-Caros pellets, but it's still, you know, limited by a factor of 3. And, you know, Thermite cannot really regulate the size of his openings at all. So if Max was to be really nifty, he could maybe open up a few different openings, or, you know, just a really large one. And it seems to be the case, right? He is still playing to maximize the potential of the breaching torch. Still, it is not going to be enough to kind of mitigate the fact that it is only a 3v4 rather. Now down to a 3v3 and under a minute remaining on the clock. This is a big one because, to be honest, the push on the objective has barely begun, right? They have breached the one reinforced wall. And, you know, of course, they're now knocking at the OBJ's door. Granted. But that doesn't mean that they were able to, I want to say, wind the defenses down to wear them out and to secure the OBJ. Right here, they are getting a nice kill. And yeah, this is going to help, of course, but still, I mean, look at Autobot. He is pretty well bunkered down, right? His angle, his line of sight is really good, so he's going to see a lot of the, or a good portion of the OBJ. And with the ACOG and everything, he was pretty well placed to deny a plant. Fond will have to try to use the Nitro Cell. That doesn't work too well. By the way, what Sarah said in chat in French, he's asking for a rehost next round. Alright, Fun right here, getting a nice kill. He's on his back, though. Oh, he gets up. He's still alive. Oh, gosh, and Ayu's falling back. That could have been the end of him. But the defense now has been able to rush back in. Oh, no, he doesn't realize that Ayu's on the far left. No. Therefore, Autobot, last player alive. He sees the diffuser, but can barely not get to it. With those 3 punching holes, it's not going to be easy. Oh, gosh, and he only has 9 bullets left and nothing in reserve. He is very likely to end up playing it with a pistol. Right here, 9 seconds. It is game or round over. Good round. He doesn't even get the first kill. OnlyFans, thus winning round number 5, a 4-1 scoreline. This is good. This is pretty good if you're an OnlyFans supporter, since, of course, let me just type this in chat. During the round. Okay, leave now. Yeah. Never mind. Okay. We still have to go through with it. They said never mind, but then again, Vendetta had already left. So yeah, our last round was on dining, won by the blue team. Yeah, let's abandon this. And let's go with the replays. Ah, god damn it. Did we not? Okay. Let's go with the replays while we recreate the custom lobby. Give us half a sec, guys. It's not going to be too long. Central US. And we are going to be good to go as soon as possible.
Attackers are activating.
So yeah, I'm not going to be casting too much over, you know, those replays, since of course I'm working the mouse in the background. Okay, okay. So we are going to, our band operators were Wamai Montaigne. Yeah, but Wamai was also an odd operator. I do totally understand why they want to ban him, but he is not banned too often compared to some other annoying ops. For example, Echo, who would have been considered fairly OP, you know, a few seasons ago, is now no longer going to be is no longer going to be banned, you know, time and time again. Okay. OnlyFans on the one side, Vendetta Esports on the other. And Austin's gonna get an invite. Sarah's is gonna get an invite. Yeah, guys, please remain respectful in chat. I do see it, but I'm trying my best, you know, to give a nice presentation, a nice casting, and therefore I don't have too much time to moderate. So, guys, please remain respectful. If not, first thing I would do is implement a slow mode, one message every 30 seconds. Therefore, if you want your only message, or one message every minute or something along those lines. Therefore, if you want your only message to be something that's going to get banned outright, go ahead, but hey, it's not the best use of your messages ever. Dorms, then we went laundry. Laundry was the one that they actually were able to win. But then we went kitchen dining twice, and that didn't work out too great, unfortunately, for Vendetta, who are now basically 1-4. So this is going to be the 6th round, the last round before the rule swap. .vd, Austin and Fond, are you guys joining in? Let's see. Okay. By the way, I may have misinterpreted what Sarah said. He was saying that he was maybe going to ask for a rehost next round. Plus, he said it was all good after all, but not before Austin and the others had already left. So this rehost is not going to cost OnlyFans, or it's not going to be considered as their rehost, since I was the one to goof up. So basically, OnlyFans and Vendetta, for what it's worth, are still allowed to have their rehost, or they still have it for the future, so should it be needed. And things are going pretty quickly at this point. Putin is already in, so of course we're only lacking one last player. It's Dio. Dio is still missing. And, you know, he should join back in pretty quickly, and then we should be good to go. Okay, and he's here. All right, awesome. I suppose everybody is ready. I assume nobody has turned off their mosses. So as soon as I have a confirmation from OnlyFans, we'll be good to go. By the way, of course, Sarah has said it was good. He has said never mind, but not before a few people had left on the other team. So it's not going to count as a rehost for OnlyFans, since it was my mess up. So yeah, OnlyFans, whenever I have a confirmation that you guys are ready, we'll be good to go. All right. Well, you know the drill. Good luck, have fun. Resuming 4-1. So basically, last round before the rule swap. And here we go yet again. My biggest question at this point would be, is the rule swap going to help either of these teams out? Like, are Vendetta better at attacking than defending, or OnlyFans better at defending than they're at attacking? Because should it be the case? Maybe it would be, you know, one of Vendetta's biggest hopes at a comeback. This is all I wanted to say. I'm receiving... Oh. I am receiving messages saying that somebody has been banned from the chat, but I didn't ban anybody. And do we have any mods in the chat tonight? Doesn't appear to be the case either. Huh.
Attackers need to locate and defuse as many bombs.
Yeah, so I'm gonna have to manage this, you know, in parallel to actually casting the game. So let's see how good I am at doing two things at the same time. Let's hope for the best. Okay, this is gonna be round 6. Like I said before we started the game, right? Last round before the role swap, and Vendetta, they were only successful in winning a single defense on Laundry. So they're gonna try to defend Laundry again. And I assume it's going to be mainly similar to their previous round here, the previous victory here, of course, right? Yes, so let's just log out of that account and log back into my account. Yes and yes. And as soon as I can, we are going to be taking a look at that thing. Oh, so apparently we're playing quite aggro, to be honest. Fun right here, going for a spawn kill. He is likely actually to pick up on Ayuz, but Ayuz picks up on him first. That is going to be... Oh, are you saying what? So, to be fair, he did take a bullet, right? So at this point, I have to say, should Fond have shot at the head first, or should he have, you know, hit the head first and foremost, he probably would have gotten the kill on Zofia here. That really does go to show how important the headshots are in Rainbow Six Siege. Unfortunately, his aim wasn't true enough, and that ended up costing him. But I kind of like to see, you know, the attempts that are being made. It was the wrong call to make in that instance, but the main point kind of still stands, that you are still playing aggro, you're still trying to mix things up, to reinvent the wheel, because of course, if you fail in being unpredictable, your opponent is going to have an easy time to counteract you, and it ultimately is going to be very easy for you to be overwhelmed and bested, simply because the attackers know beforehand what is going to happen, right? Sarah's right here, he is going to be finding a certain amount of electricity there. Had they been a bit faster, or for example, had Toothless Mage been the first one to die, they could have prevented something along those lines. Sarah's even using an exothermic charge here. Ayuz is out of impact nades, and Amani Sledge is dead. So I see why, but it's still unfortunate. Max, you're taking a bit of risk, right? He could have gotten shot at there. And I gotta say, your Zofia here is playing pretty well, because of course you do have two roamers at the top floor, so all you need to do is basically cut off the rotations, or cut off the staircase, and you can be really dangerous. Putin getting a kill on Sarah's. Looks like Toothless Mage wants to get out of the pickle in the one he is right now. In which he is right now? Yeah. But he is going to find this pretty difficult. There are a lot of track signals on the right-hand side. The wall was open enough to allow for a firefight, but enough to allow for a rotation. So he is going to have to, you know, destroy or break the defensive setup, the attacker setup down. But, oh no! Zofia was hidden by the housing of the site there. That was really unfortunate. That holographic was a bit too fat for Toothless Mage's well-being. Dio getting the diffuser planted. In Cell is going to be tossed, but that is not going to be enough. I use the triple kill. He could get the ace! Is that going to be a quad? It is not going to be a quad, unfortunately for him. Autobot thus getting a double, and Dio now in a 1v2 situation. He has, I want to say, roughly a third of his health remaining, and he is not too well placed to deny the diffuser, right? He's going to be in a full-blown firefight. He has to make it pretty quickly, but he is going to get caught down. And there you have it, Vendetta Esports winning their second round. They are not giving up whatsoever, and that is nice to see. Sometimes, of course, the mental aspect is just ends up being too much, right? When a team starts to despair, it is, yeah, not too nice to see. But right here, even though they are in a tough spot, Vendetta are not giving up. They're still giving it everything they got. And, you know, you're not going to win every single round, but you know, a round every so often still, you know, keeps the dream alive.
Attackers are activating the bomb diffuser. Defenders of
So that was it for the good news, right? The bad news, however, is going to be, simply put, that we now have the rules swap. And I would generally tend to say that defending on most of the maps is slightly easier. Though right here, Oregon has been in the competitive map pool for a while. It's been in the map pool for a while at this point. I am still not too sure as on where it is situated, because of course we had to get a hold of the map first and foremost, right? The community would figure out the best way of defending it, and they would, you know, improve upon the formula ever so often. I mean, for example, take the SSG basement strat on Clubhouse. The game has been out for almost 5 years at this point. This map has barely, if at all, been reworked. Or for example, you know, oh yeah, the top floor has been reworked quite extensively actually. But still, given the rework, it still took years and years and years before we found out, we found that particular strategy out. And what I want to say is simply, maps are always evolving, meta is always evolving, and therefore you cannot judge a map in a blink of an eye, especially to see if it's defense or offense sided. I do believe it is slightly defense sided though. and emphasis on believe, not sure 100%. I'm not gonna make a definite assessment here, but Dio is gonna get a first kill. That was on Autobot. Utility wise, not the best opportunity to lose, but it's not gonna be a mortal blow either. Losing, for example, Maverick or Putin is likely to try to go for the Master's bedroom. Those two operators, if they were to die too early on, that could actually basically cut off an entire push or entire arm to the push. And right here, the first angle is going to be destroyed. But Dio with the roaming game, I was looking at Fawn doing his thing. The unfortunate news is, in the meantime, Dio is going to do his thing, and his thing is not playing it cheeky or trying to kind of counteract or outthink his opponents. He's just outgunning them, pure and simple. And the unfortunate news is, when you're just, that big of a killer, any and all strategy on the other team matters very little. The easiest example will be right here, Putin. He is trying to open this up. Unfortunately, these are mute jammer, but let's pretend the mute jammer wasn't there. Breaching the wall wouldn't matter at all if, Putin was to be dead. So, the picture I'm trying to paint here is that Dio is going to be a really, really high value target for Vendetta Esports. They have to take him out of the picture. If not, they can do next to nothing. Fonde is going to get an important kill on Amani, but it is not over. Of course, the main threat, like I said, Dio, is still there. Fonde is going to be alone to kind of try to flush him out, and this is not too good because, of course, if Fonde was to die, it is still going to be a face-to-face firefight, right? The potential possibility of having a refrag is going to disappear. In the meantime, though, Toothless and Putin have been able to make some headway at the top floor for the OBJ itself. Right there's going to be a smoke, however, that is not going to let himself be bested by a simple push. Therefore, Putin and Fonde are basically going to be cut off from one another. So it is going to be two separate 1v1 instances, or in Putin's case, actually a 1v, I want to say 2. So yeah, the defense side, it doesn't look too great. Fonde just disengaging, rushing in, but oh gosh, he was expected! Running in like he did. This is dangerous, because of course we can hear you coming in running, and running does make a lot of noise. Plus, of course, he had to step through some barbed wire in the white stairs. So all in all, a few risks have been taken. I do realize why he did that, right? Chasing after Valkyrie was a dead end. He was not going to get a kill in a timely fashion. Of course, the timer was not waiting for anyone. But yeah, it still was a great risk to take, and he still ended up paying the price for this. Ultimately, there was no good answer. You lost your Nomad really early on, and therefore you couldn't just push on OBJ and use the air jabs to deny the roamers a chance of being dangerous from behind. So you had to dedicate manpower to tracking down those roamers. But of course, right, there are so many different ways of hiding, of running away. The basement, not every map has three floors. This one is, I want to say, actually a minority at this point. And simply just having a basement is something to not be underestimated. Number one. Number two, you had no good operators to flush him out, right? The easiest example would be a good old Jackal. Jackal wasn't in the attacker's composition, so Vendetta were ill-equipped to flush out an unseen, unknown roamer.
10 seconds to go.
Okay.
5 seconds to insertion.
You know what?
Attacker's objective is to locate
Let
a
me
bomb
do
and
something. Hey. There you go. Easy, I just gave you mod. That shall help a little. Thank you for the suggestion and for the offer, by the way. So after having one on dorms, OnlyFans will have to go elsewhere, and of course it is going to be the basement. It comes to no surprise that laundry is considered a secondary bomb site here. And the attacking phase has already begun, so I have not forgotten about Yuxag. I know you're still banned for some unknown reason, and I'm getting to it ever so slowly, because of course, once again, I'm doing things at the same time. But I'm gonna get to it. Don't worry. Vendetta seem to be a bit more aggressive this time, right? They are pretty quick when it comes to kind of taking map control. I'm not talking about the basement, right? But they're working their way towards the roamers. Max, in this instance, is going to take a fair amount of damage. I was going to say a bit amount of damage, but it was actually a non-negligible amount by rotating out. Austin is going to lose his life, but so does Ceres, so it's going to be a trade that is actually worthwhile. And, you know, if you were to look at it from the health pool-wise, you are going to have Max, who is somewhat low. Therefore, Vendetta kind of take the cake here. But of course, Max, though he is somewhat injured, it's nothing too major, and he is still a very grave threat. However, when you look at the hatch while being pushed from up front, this is not a good, I want to say, life advice. Therefore, Dio is going to be the next, and, you know, basically the only one to hold the angle from this specific side. Therefore, if Dio falls, I mean, looking at it from a third person, it could be fairly easy to push hit on OBJ, especially since now Ayuz has been pushed back after having lost his deployable shield. And nothing indicates that Vendetta will limit themselves by exploiting this only this one and only angle, right? Digitla is kind of probing here, pushing forward. He unfortunately loses his firefight, but Dio lost a lot of health in the meantime, so it's not a disaster, an all-out disaster. He was able to push the front line back way into the objective, and that is nothing to laugh at. You know, Putin right here in Freezer. He is looking, for example, at Smoke, trying to find a cheeky kill there. And, oh, his reaction time is going to be barely too slow. And that's going to be Amani getting a kill. And Ayu is also going to get killed. Putin, no, last player alive. The attackers had the upper hand, but that just evaporated into thin air. Right here, Smoke is so low. He needs only one bullet to take him out, but he's not going to connect with anything. 1 second remaining. It is going to be over. He gets a kill. He gets a kill, but so do OnlyFans. However, OnlyFans, instead of getting a kill, they do get a round, which is arguably so much more important. So nice try, Vendetta. Once again, not giving up until the very last moment. I like to see it, but alas, it is not enough, right? And at this point, I don't mean to be pessimistic, but your chances of winning it, of coming back, yeah, they're going to be somewhat low, because realistically speaking, looking at, you know, historically how often Vendetta win their rounds, they could be expected to, you know, win another round, too, if they're really good, but you know, I don't expect them to win 4 rounds in a row to bring this into overtime and then hypothetically to win the game. So once again, considering they never won 2 rounds in a row, if they were to keep the game alive for another 2 rounds, it would be basically a new high score for them as far as this match is concerned. Because at this point, like I said, I believe the game is beyond salvage for them. I still wish them the best of luck. And, you know, it might not be futile. It might not be in vain, because the longer you keep the map going, first and foremost, even though I don't expect them to win, they still, physically speaking, can. Plus, you know, scouting or analyzing your opponents still does have a lot of value. So if they get to see, for example, who pre-fires, who rushes, who flashbangs and then rushes, all that good stuff could be used, you know, to great effect against OnlyFans in the next game, regardless of the map. But yeah, this map, it looks like it's in the bag for OnlyFans. OnlyFans, by the way, who are going to be defending, unlike Vendetta, their tertiary bomb site seems to be, or not just seems to be, their tertiary bomb site definitely is going to be, and I'm missing the kills, in kitchen and in meeting room. There's going to be Putin right here. Oh gosh, and Fonda rushing with a blitz. I had not seen this coming, even though the blitz was in my screen for basically the entire time. But I had not realized that Autobot is going to have to pull that needle out of his foot. You know, nothing too major. And there is going to be Amani right here. Amani is ill-equipped to counteract the shield, right? He has no smoke, no lesion, doesn't have any kind of explosives. But still, you know, gunfights alone can win, can gain kills. Let's see what Fonda gets to do here. He is going to have to rush in, because of course, if he goes in too slow, he's going to get shot at from the kneecaps. Ultimately, a bullet to the face also takes care of everything. Aiming at that distance ended up being a mistake, unfortunately. So, Dion Amani looking pretty good, to be honest. Austin is still there, and he is bailing out. So, conceding... No, he is not. Oh wait, was it a bluff? Because my thought was, if he kind of destroys the barricade, it would indicate he runs out. But if he then does not run out, that could have been interesting. But no, it was no bluff. He really did want to bail. You are gonna have a few attempts that are gonna be made for pushing from that angle. But then you had Max with the yokai drone, who was kind of dangerous there, right? He did concuss an attacker. And Ayuz is going to be right there, so you cannot just walk right in, right? Leaving us with a 2v4 situation right here. Putin is not going to find anything. Autobot still trying to find a top floor kill. But unfortunately, thing is, it is just going to leave Putin sorely exposed in a 1v4 situation. Because nobody is still at the top floor. All the defensive roamers have bailed back down. Because, of course, if no attackers is at the top floor, it matters very little how many defenders you have. Because they're holding something that doesn't need to be held. Pain Stalker, the unfortunate thing is we had a rehost, so it is really hard for me to tell you exactly how many kills everybody has. But, oh no, right here it is going to be a kill for DAL, leaving us with Putin in a 1v4 situation. And since this is match point for the kills after the rehost, it is going to happen as soon as Putin dies. Or if Putin was to clutch the 1v4 situation, he doesn't. I was going to show them next round, but said next round is just not going to happen. DAL saying good half. It was a good match, I gotta say. Ultimately, like I said, Vendetta still trying their best. So right here, kills wise, it is what it is. Only a partial picture, but you still do get to see, for example, the trends. Putin being a top fragger alongside with Autobot on the orange side, and right here we're gonna see it again. Dio, Amani, and Max. Dio and Ayuz actually, it does not go down. It goes down from the points, not from the kills. Wise. So there we have it. There we have it. Let's just go for the replays one last time. Like so. And yeah. Let's just indicate in this that we're going to have a map win for OnlyFans. Okay, so I see both teams are already ready, so we're not going to take a, for example, 5-minute breaks before. Not ready. Okay, so we are going to take a 5-minute break. Yeah, I know I have yet to change the map and everything. But yeah, we're going to take a 2-minute break. So take your time. No stress, no need to worry. If you want to have a tactical timeout, talk with your captains and all that good stuff. Yeah, take your time. I'm just walking in circles, but yeah, there is no stress. We're not under any time pressure whatsoever. I am going to mute myself because I don't think you want to hear me gulping down water. Because I gotta say, when you're alone talking basically the entire time like I'm doing, it does a number on your vocal cords. It really does. Blue team is OnlyFans. Orange team is Vendetta Esports. The second map was Villa. And OnlyFans were defending, so you give the attackers blue team attack first. Or orange team gets attacked first. Okay, so we are on Villa. Orange team Vendetta gets to attack first. And Vendetta, we're ready. OnlyFans, you guys were ready as well, right? Fonde says ready. OnlyFans, what about you? They may have said it before, but I have so many things to worry about that I kind of missed it. Okay, since I didn't get 1 minute. Okay, sounds good. And I'm going to use this 1 minute to investigate the one thing about the one guy that was banned that kind of wasn't supposed to be banned. So let's take a look at that. Do I have somewhere blocked terms? Do I have like a list of blocked users somewhere? No. Forgot about the rehost. Sorry about that, man. It was my bad at the same time, right? I kind of did goof up there. Okay, so let's see. Twitch. See banned users. See banned users on Twitch. Okay, this is just a Reddit thing, but hey, Twitch settings channel. Ready. Sounds good. People, yeah. Yeah, staff, host, raid drops. No. Is there not like... Oh, moderation. There it is. Permitted. No, I want to see ban chatters. Here we have it. Okay. All right, I see you guys are ready. I had a little something to check out, but it's now done. So, like I said, orange team attacks first. Villa, if both teams are ready, I'm just going to say good luck, have fun, and may the best team win.
Yeah, you do.
Vendredi matin, le roi.
And he just starts singing. Oh, wait, okay. No, he really is not banned. Wait, no, I didn't want to add him. Gosh. Okay, yeah, so the one guy wasn't banned. That is good news, but now I have to kind of get back at this. We have our operator bans, and it is gonna be, and it's gonna start with a thermite right here, then nomad. Sorry. Then nomad and now vendetta are gonna have their second ban. And you know, it's kind of interesting to see how some bans kind of tend to be the direct results or the direct response to a previous game. For example, I did find Nomad to be quite effective when OnlyFans were playing her. Was it Sarah's Dio was playing Nomad, if my memory serves me right. So Vendetta, they are going to react, or they're going to respond to that. And yeah, Dio's the whole population of Spain saying Dio's a beast. Dio kind of was a beast, gotta say, kind of was. Okay, I'm not gonna read the second message though, because that is, yeah, that is not my cup of tea. Wait, well, what am I doing? I just wanted to enter the last operator ban, who was Mira. And now that we are good to go, let's talk about Mira a little bit, because okay, she gets banned a heck of a lot on this map, admittedly. But I rarely see her be a great danger, or I rarely see her having an immense impact on any given game. On this map in particular, right? You can, for example, from, say, Aviation or from Games Room, put a mirror window on a wall towards Study. But then my question gets, how often is that mirror window going to really change things up drastically?
Attackers need to locate and
It's not the case too often, I gotta say, right? So yeah, I don't want to say it feels like a crutch ban, but I don't know. For example, Wamai is really good at eating those grenades, and we've seen him banned previously with, you know, good reason. And right here, why not ban him again? Couldn't tell you. But hey, those players are way better than I am. That is for damn sure. So I am not going to criticize them. I'm just going to ask questions and imply that I'm too dumb since I don't have the answers to those questions. And you know, it's absolutely the case here. Here, I gotta ask like a question. Would there be an interesting way of protecting, say, any kind of utility from a sledge or an ash that would come from beneath, right? For example, or even an IQ. IQ could fairly easily destroy those mute jammers. And, you know, coincidentally, we do have Autobot playing IQ here. So, my question would be, for example, could you be nifty and somehow, you know, use, I want to say Vulcan Shield, right? Since they do tend to have this, I want to say, the canister, the red canister, since it's kind of wide, right? And there is a metal housing around it. You really have to be behind the shield, right? So if you were to set, for example, the electric claw above the canister, it would kind of be hidden from beneath, right? So an IQ couldn't just destroy them. You would still need an Ash or a Zofia, which in this case, admittedly, you do have. But it would still, you know, force, for example, those two operators to use up some resources which they would otherwise not have used up. So it's just like a rhetorical question. And to be honest, I do still see how this plan can be deeply flawed. No questions asked, absolutely. But I'm still curious to try it, and I might even invite people I'm friends with who are in a team to maybe try it out in a scrim or something like that. You know, imagine you were to hide a few magnet devices on the floor below to, you know, eat up 1 or 2 impact grenades from Zofia or from Ash, and this could maybe just be enough to make it so that Austin, for example, right here, he's out of impact nades, and so he couldn't do too much against that. That tirade, that tangent has been going on for way too long, so let's get back into the game. Nobody has died so far. Amani has lost roughly a third of his health, so health pool wise, yeah, Vendetta would have the upper hand, but you know, ultimately it is a really slim advantage to be had. Thing is, however, Vendetta were unsuccessful in, I want to say, grinding down the defensive setup. So hard breaching wise, you know, eating up those ADSs, destroying the barbed wires, yeah, sure, all that good stuff maybe has happened, but ultimately that didn't translate in making the OBJ any safer. Right here, Toothless couldn't just walk right in. He did destroy a yokai drone, but of course he gets pushed in right after. Ayuz turns around, tries to get a second kill, but that would be a bit too dangerous for him. Dio is going to hold up the cross angle there. Ayuz is playing it quite aggro. We could see, right, last time he kind of pushed it against an opponent that was reloading. This time he didn't get as lucky as the time before. Right here, Amani is living by that shield. If it gets destroyed, he dies. And this is exactly why there was a magnet device. He is going to have to deny the plant with yokai drone, but no, too little, too late. Amani does get the kill on Austin, so that opens up the route. Oh, and Dio is going to lose his firefight against Putin, leaving us with a 1v3 situation. And Amani is just unsuccessful, or just as unsuccessful as his teammates before him. Autobot was concussed. He was seeing double, but that was not enough to secure a victory. So there you have it. Unlike last time around, Vendetta Esports this time are going to be trailing ahead only by a single point, and only because a single run has been played in the game so far, but it is still miles better than what they were able to do before. Now, at their best, the points were tied because it was the first round. From that point on, at their best, they were trailing 1 point behind because only a point had been played. You get the idea? Vendetta are already positioning themselves better than they did last game rather. And this is honestly motivating if you were to be a Vendetta fan supporter, even though anything can still happen in this game, right? They could win with a 7-0, just like OnlyFans could no longer lose a single player for the entire game. To be honest, neither of those scenarios are going to be true because these two teams are too well matched against each other to have an absolute blowout match. But yeah, the actual, I'm going to say, end score of this match is going to lie somewhere in between the middle of these two extremes that I have displayed here. So our first defense was on Aviation and was a Vendetta success. By the way, I do want to point out that by having OnlyFans losing, they could have gone here again. They elected, of course, not to, but that was something I wanted to point out because, for example, Vendetta, when they were defending and losing on Oregon before, they would go, for example, here dorms a second time in a row to try to make it work, or they would go dining a second time in a row to make it work. When they didn't, okay, they had eventually to rotate out, but they were still trying to salvage their initial strategy once or twice. Here, OnlyFans are not even going to be trying at all. They're really just breaking everything down and you know, starting up from scratch again in hopes of getting a better result next time around. Toothless will be the first one to insert in right here. Of course, the walls are reinforced through and through, and he was quite confident in removing the goo mine because, of course, he wasn't going to get pushed because of that castle barricade. Castle barricade, which is going to get destroyed or get you know, put down pretty quickly. He is capable of taking a lot of health away to Amani. No, that wasn't him shooting at Amani. So it looks like he just missed every single bullet, and oh gosh, he is losing a lot of health. That was from beneath, actually. An impact nade from from Ceres. Oh no, a Nitro Cell from Ceres. Okay, so all things considered, Toothless is quite lucky to still be alive. He is going to keep on going, however, eventually he is likely to meet his match, right? He's losing health time and time again, and you know, he's going to lose the war of attrition. That is for sure. How many kills does he get before he gets taken out? Unfortunately, not a single one. This is going to leave us with a 4v3 situation. OnlyFans now trailing ahead by a single player, and said single player Amani was really low on health. He dies out. Just in the same time, Dio is going to drop down the hatch, so you now have basically the south side control, or the south wing of the map is under Vendetta control, and they are free to use that angle to keep on pushing forward. Fonde with an aggressive free fire or wallbang is going to get a rotation cut off, which I'm not even sure he expected to get that kill. But this is what I mean when I say you have to take every single shot, because, you know, the lucky kill or the lucky shot is going to happen one every, say, 10,000 times. But every 10,000th time, it is basically a free kill that you get. Why say no to that? Putin here finds himself in a 1v2 situation. There is a... Yeah, there's a beeper right here somewhere. He doesn't spot it exactly, and plus it's not really time to look, for those little spiders, because of course he is finding himself in a 1v2 situation. Not only a 1v1, but Max is not playing too aggressive. He knows exactly what is up. Diffuser will have to get planted, and he is really sticking it through. He seems to know. Oh no, that's going to be the death of him. No, he pre-fires. Oh, but Max still gets the... he still gets the kill. OnlyFans, therefore, winning round number 2. To be honest, deadass expected Hibana to get through, because, I mean, she was at, you know, half a second of getting the diffuser planted. But said half a second would have been enough for her to get caught, you know, still kneeling down, while, Smoke would have had the gun up and ready to shoot. So, having Putin disengaged there was the right call to make. The pre-fires were the right call to make. So, on paper, the strategy was the right one. The execution lacked, however. The pre-fires were all over the place, and, you know, he should have been the first one to hit his target. But, alas, as you could see, Amani ended up getting the kill, and therefore the points are now again 1-1. Okay, and one thing is for sure, after having won on statues, the defense cannot go there again. And, you know, this is why you will not be too surprised to learn that the defense will go on aviation again. Let's see exactly how this round is going to be different from the previous ones. Is it going to be because OnlyFans are capable they will get the win? Is it because the execution will be drastically different? Anything along those lines, anything and everything against those lines, I'm quite curious about. First and foremost, that opening in the wall right here, that rotation hole could be interesting. Discord and the bot is not responding to that. Bot, what are you doing?
5 seconds left.
Oh gosh, the tokens. Oh, the login tokens have expired. Gosh, Pluto, I am going to generate you a link manually. I am so sorry about that. Yeah, I'm using... to be honest, I should not be doing this. But I'm using a bot that is not like a website which you connect to your Twitch account. It is a program that runs on your computer. I don't care. The link can expire after, half an hour, because it's not going to be up there permanently. There you go. Okay. Yeah, so it's the kind of program that runs on your computer, because it has the one minigame which I didn't find anywhere else. So when I'm streaming like regularly with me playing, my viewers really freaking loved that minigame. But just responding to a Discord command, I might as well have the Streamlabs bots or Nightbot, Moobot, anything along those lines. Wait. Moobot became the Streamlabs bot, didn't it? You get the idea. Yeah, but the command absolutely should exist. Okay. So let's take a look here. Ceres was the first casualty of this round. Amani here trying to play verticality, but Austin does not need to be as precise as Amani, right? He is using explosives, and they do tend to have a radius, whereas, yeah, the shotgun technically maybe has a bit of radius, but you still have to aim fairly good to get the kills. Right here, the mute jammer being destroyed is going to allow the X-Carriers to explode, and this is bound to put a lot of pressure on Amani, right? He no longer can hold the angle statically. And of course, there is somebody, Fonde, here at the window who is bound to make short work of Amani if he was to peek or if he was to present himself. So what else are we going to have? Dio is still there. I mean, he is droning and everything, but I want to point out he is on a soft wall, and if he's droning, his camera or his smartphone is going to be visible to Fawn's electronic detector, so that could lead to an unfortunate, easy wallbang headshot kill for Fonde, who is not going to be looking for said easy, lucky wallbang headshot kill. So yeah, it is going to be a classic, face-to-face, basically. So let's see exactly how it plays out. Max is still holding the back angle, kind of expecting somebody to walk up from the main stairs. It does not appear to be the case. And right here, we're looking for those nifty little wall bangs. Oh, what is Ayu's playing at? He wants to get back up. And since there was no Nomad in that round, of course, she's been banned outright for the entire game. It looks pretty likely that he can make it back up. Here, a Nitro Cell is going to get the kill. Amani and Dio getting a kill in rapid succession. They have to get back. Only 8 seconds remaining on the clock. Fonde, last player alive, gets 1 kill. Still has to get 3 more. And only 2 seconds to do so. It is not going to work out. Oh, he even misses a few shots here. And no, that really did not work out. So there you have it. OnlyFans now getting a slight lead of a single point. But I gotta say, all things considered, this map is shipping out to be so much closer than the previous one, right? It looks like we're gonna have a really tight game. And I gotta say, I like these games because when you know from the beginning, from the get-go, who's gonna win, it is, the suspense kind of disappears. Okay. Yeah, let's reconnect the bots here. Oh, by text message. Or, no, yeah, still to get them. Wait, how does that work? I believe okay, I think I know what kind of went wrong with that Twitch account. I may have enabled a 2FA or something along those lines. And then this is what's kind of confused the bot login. But let's look at it this way. OnlyFans, they've won twice in a row now, right? And therefore, they now have to look for a tertiary bomb site. So they're going to go dining and kitchen. Thus, this comes to no surprise, right? Reading room is not real contender to this map. Just like bar on Clubhouse. And therefore, simply by virtue of being in a tertiary bomb site, Vendetta Esports' chances of winning the round go up, by a certain margin. Is this NA? Yeah, this is NA Pludio. But if you want to play in EU, I mean, assuming you're an EU player, we also organize this kind of competition in EU as well. Okay. So if we look at it right here, OnlyFans are going to be committing a certain amount, non-negligible amount of resources to defending the top floor. I mean, we're talking about 3 players that have gone up here. Mute jammers, ADS devices, Vulcan shield, plus 2 reinforced walls. So we really do not want to lose top floor control. Let's see how well that's going to turn out. A frag and a refrag later. You have here Jaeger. If you lost that firefight, you toothless mage, I was going to say some mean things about you. But a rush here seems to be working pretty quickly, or pretty well, actually. I mean, the diffuser is already being planted. Max is right here. He is going to have to attempt to deny that. He gets a kill, but, he's not going to prevent the diffuser from being planted. Leo just dropped down the hatch. He is looking for something, not finding too much, and shooting, 1 or 2 warning shots. That is going to make his position known. The flashbangs are going to also keep him in place. And even though we're just winning a few seconds, it's more than enough to ask for every single other player to turn around and to prepare your cross sights. I hear Dio now. He got 2, but oh gosh, he doesn't get the 2 more. The two last players. Fonde putting an end to that 2-kill rampage. I mean, to be honest, Legion was playing really well. I didn't expect him to be this aggressive and to get this many kills. Simply put, the attackers defensive setup. It sounds counterintuitive, but yeah, once the defuse was planted, Vendetta Esports, they got a defensive role, and they had a lot of cross angles and crossfires set up. Who was it? Was it Autobot kind of turned around and ran back out, so he just forfeited his... No, that wasn't Autobot. Was it Austin? Somebody had turned around. And to run out through the pantry window. So that one probably was Austin. Yeah, right there. Austin kind of bailing out. So now you only have 2 more. But that's... actually, if you got the kill on Fonde... I'm rambling. The remaining attackers, the remaining players from Vendetta Esports were kind of isolated by having Zofia that bailed, that no longer wanted to put her firepower in common with her teammates. And therefore, isolated opponents is a wet dream for a player in a clutch situation. And though I totally get why Vendetta went to do this, to play for time, they still, to some extent, kind of ended up playing into Dio's hand, who was able to, start to get a bit of a momentum going. It was not enough, he got caught down. But yeah, things were looking pretty good for Vendetta. Of course, they won, and OnlyFans were making a valiant attempt at salvaging the round. So all in all, I gotta commend both teams for Vendetta. An excellent push. Excellent push. And OnlyFans, you tried your goddamn best. What tier is this league? I gotta say it is T3. I mean, we're not T2 or, T1, far from there. Just to give you a point of reference, the cash prize for this league is $400 US. So I'll let you judge by yourself what kind of, what level of play still gets attracted by 400. Because, for example, literal CL teams are unlikely to bother with, this amount of cash prize. But the teams that are beneath CL, or, just beneath CL, that have a realistically good shot at winning these, yeah, these are the players we're kind of aiming for. Okay, though I gotta say, there is another league with which we will be merging starting next season to implement our relegation system. They do have a CACL team playing for them, or playing with them in their league. Referring to the Summer Cup, which has Axios playing. So all in all, I want to say we're doing not too bad. I and the other guys, the other organizers I'm going to be working with in the future. So right here, Putin has already been able to breach the master's bedroom wall. No pressure is going to be mounted from that angle yet. And of course, it would be a suicide mission. For example, right here, Ayus just has to turn around. You also had Dio, who just, has to peek. But all in all, it kind of keeps the defenders' heads down. Okay, Dio maybe not. Caster's Curse, right? Whenever I say something, the players do the exact opposite. But all in all, it kind of keeps the defense pinned. And should Vendetta work on that intel, work on that advantage, they could maybe do something really interesting. They could, get something interesting done. I think sounds better. And oh gosh, who is it? It's Amani laying from right here. Oh gosh, okay. I gotta say, Dio, fall back. Let Autobot believe it is safe, and let Amani knife him as soon as he falls through the window. That would be hilarious. Fonde getting a kill, and Fonde getting a double kill. Get a triple kill. And that forces Amani to rotate out, but of course, said rotation is going to be caught off guard. Sarah is thus not getting a kill either. Fonde with a quad, and I missed every single one of those kills. Okay. I do owe Fonde an apology here. Vendetta Esports, for those of you who missed the previous game, they lost 7-2. So all in all, it was no real contest, right? Right here, they are holding their ground and not just, keeping the scores tight. They're actually getting a lead. For example, look right here, 2-3, slim lead, but still, they do have the upper hand. And it's not a round won by the wire where you think to yourself, okay, having had a lucky shot, lucky wallbang, the one drone could have changed the outcome of the round. No, it was a blowout round. Fonde getting the almost ace here. And I miss every single one of those kills, all those crucial moments of the round. So like I said, apologies. Plus, I gotta say, there is one piece of good news here for Vendetta Esports. OnlyFans, they have won their 2 single rounds, or the 2 rounds that they have. They won on statues and aviation. Vendetta had previously managed to win a round on aviation, and now they have won their game on statue. Or they won, the one round right here on statues, round number 5. And what I mean by that is Vendetta, they have proven to OnlyFans that no bomb site is safe from them. There is no area on the map that they flat out don't know how to attack, or that they're, flat out incapable of doing anything about it. So basically, they're giving OnlyFans a good ground for their money. With that being said, though, this defense right here on Kitchen was a disaster for the blue team. Remember, blatant rush that we saw 2 rounds ago? So right here, I fully do expect OnlyFans to learn from their mistakes and to change things up a little bit. When I say a little bit, I mean the initial setup seems to be fairly similar, right? Reinforcements, ADS devices, but the top floor control, or the utility invested in the top floor, is going to end up there, or is going to be limited to those few pieces of utility I've named a few moments ago. Therefore, so many more resources are being poured into the OBJ itself, since it looks like OnlyFans are expecting a Vendetta rush. Said Vendetta rush, of course, is not happening because the advantage of surprise works while you still have the surprise, and that time has come and gone. Now they will have to actually fight for every inch of ground that they gain, or die trying, which is going to be Putin's case here. And that was Hibana, so utility-wise, it is already a really good kill for OnlyFans. The momentum here is bound to be so much lower, or so much, I want to say, smaller. They can no longer just walk right in, and this time around they are actively expected, right? You can see Ceres, though he is blind, he was able to get something going. Fondy here rushing in, getting a kill. Actually, he has a diffuser. What, is he gonna plant there? Because you still had somebody on OBJ. Last player alive is gonna be Dio. He does get Autobot down, but not out. Could still get revived, but it's not, too late to do that. Oh, he was expected. The flick shot! Now 1v1 situation. Fonde gets the diffuser planted, but is now last player alive. Okay, it is gonna be Dio's second attempt at a clutch. He knows more or less where Fonde is gonna be. Those drag stingers, of course, get destroyed pretty easily. Oh, he was gonna finish Autobot. He has to, right? Because Autobot is just feeding incel. But Autobot was a valuable distraction. Fonde getting, keeping the round, keeping the dream alive yet again. I was seeing, to be honest, I was seeing the clutch actually working for Dio, and getting the praise that he didn't get last time around, because of course he did do good, but it wasn't enough. Last time he was finding himself in a similar situation. So I expected him to win this round. Didn't end up happening, and therefore we will have a 4-2 scoreline for the role swap. Vendetta Esports leading 4-2 out of every single outcome we could have had. 4-2, yeah, it's not something I would have expected, once again, considering how bad OnlyFans were able to beat Vendetta last round, or last match. So yeah, all in all, things are looking really, really good for the orange team. Especially considering that they already have lost the map. In a sense, they are backs against the wall, and they cannot allow or they cannot afford, rather, to lose this map, unlike OnlyFans, right? I'm not implying OnlyFans are taking this easy, or are taking this, for granted, or, they're goofing around. Definitely not. But let's just say that that Vendetta kind of have, this small extra incentive to outperform themselves that OnlyFans right now do not feel. Our last round was Dining, and has been won by the orange team. Okay. So if we were to have a rehost, my caster's notebook would be up to date. Plus, this run right here is going to be played on statues. Yeah, I do want to point this out. OnlyFans, they have defended aviation first. Whereas Vendetta here, they do play statues first and foremost. And the interesting thing is, both of these bomb sites are good enough that depending on your personal preferences, on your strategy, on your team chemistry, either one of these bomb sites could be a realistic candidate for a primary bomb site, which is not always the case, right? On some other maps, there's a clear first, clear second, clear third bomb site, because, the one is just so much easier to defend than the other ones. And when you have a balanced map, it does give the players a lot of personal freedoms, or personal, I want to say, liberties. on the flip side, when you have a bomb site which is really poorly balanced, say for example, let's talk about the bar on Clubhouse. When you take, the liberties away from the players, imagine the defenders have 1-2 rounds in a row, they're going to go bedroom, right? Because they're never in a million years going to attempt a bar defense, and this makes the defenders more predictable, which is kind of the flip side, or the opposite of a well-balanced map. Okay, let's talk about the meta, more talking about the actual game itself. Looks like Fonde and Austin are expecting a push to come from the first floor, but, visibly, you have nobody on the first floor. At most, you have Max right here in the staircase. Amani getting another kill at the same time. So now, of course, the angle from which the push is going to be coming from is known. So Austin is holding that angle with, only a small margin, but the diffuser is being planted, and nobody on Vendetta was expecting it. Definitely, nobody acted on that one. That is for sure. And being caught utterly off guard. That really does go to show, right? OnlyFans winning just like Fonde a few rounds ago, winning a flawless round. And just like a few rounds ago, I kind of missed this time around was OnlyFans' kills. So just like I had to extend my deepest apologies to Fonde, this time, OnlyFans, I'm so sorry. And we only are going to have 3 measly little replays to show you guys. But one thing is for sure, it looks like this map is a bit defense-sided, or offense-sided rather, since Vendetta were able to get the upper hand when they themselves were attacking. Now that OnlyFans have the attacker side, they are winning their maps, or winning their rounds. Granted, they only won a single round so far, so it is hard to extrapolate a trend out of a single point of data. But yeah, let's see if the momentum stays alive, or if Vendetta are just going to implement, a back and forth kind of situation. And Vendetta, they are, unlike OnlyFans, really, going to go on the same bomb site again, and they are going to try to make it work. Let's see if this time it is going to. Of course, the initial setup is really likely to be really similar, because the one thing I do want to point out is OnlyFans, they kind of were able to win it out because of the push, right? But at this time, Vendetta's initial setup is going to be known. One example of that would be, for example, who was in the bathtub previously? Was it Austin playing with Jaeger? I believe it was Austin, right? So having this wall stay soft, to have the cross angle through the wall, through the doorway into that window. At this point, it should be known by OnlyFans, right? If they're halfway decent droners, that angle being held in the way it is, the info is going to be known by OnlyFans. So having the same initial setup, sure, it could work, but then the execution would have to change up a little bit. But that doesn't seem to be the case. Oh, was there a Mozi pest? Looks like it was the case. Austin will have to fall back just a little bit, but he is still going to be there. For the time being, he's not going to get droned. Is there a mute jammer? Yeah, there's a mute jammer. So, but no, he falls back. So the idea is he does not want to be too aggressive, does not want to actively, force the firefight, because he would very likely be in a disadvantaged position. He wants to play for time, wants to eat up the attacker's utility. For example, I imagine if the Mozi Pest would have gone off, would have infected a drone, that would have been, one drone the attackers would have to destroy. New jammer there. Having, for example, also the flashbangs being tossed out, he falls back. He, stays alive, but he plays for time. So far, however, not too major gains have been made simply by evading the attackers and wasting their time as much as possible. But it's still something. Hiding behind a Vulcan shield could be somewhat dangerous. However, let's see exactly how it's going to play out, because you have Sarah's right here. Probing the angle on his lonesome, though. So he is going to make a noise, forcing the attackers to turn around, the defenders to turn around. But he aims to be more of a distraction than anything else, right? The real push really is going to be Amani, Ayuz, and Max is above their shoulder as well, droning in the for the time being. Still, using a few cross angles the way they're doing can be really interesting. For example, Toothless Mage. Toothless Mage can really not move for the time being. And that magnet is also going to be, he's going to eat up something, another flash grenade, and he gets up, and that is going to be a bullet straight into Sarah's teeth. He is out of the picture. Losing Hibana could have been interesting, but, having a mute, in play right now, it looks like the X-Carriers were somewhat unlikely to do anything. Wait, what? Oh shit, I'm in just chatting. Guys, thanks. How did I not... Yeah, because last time I streamed on this channel, or last time I streamed at all, I was seeding the brackets for the EU Titans League. Because they don't have an entry fee, they don't have a prize pool, and therefore we have more teams, and therefore we have two pools, or two groups. And yeah, so I was kind of doing the divisions drawings last time around. And another flawless round for Vendetta Esports. Hi, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Xen. Really appreciate it. That might explain a bit why we didn't have so many people tonight. And you know what? Let me just do you one more. Let's search for tags. Let's go with match commentary. There we go. Let's go with esports. What else was there? Match commentary, esports. There was a third. Competitive, and league. Let's go with those tags. I know tags are next to useless, but hey, it's better to have them than to not have them. So another statue's defense, that this time worked out. It was a flawless round after all. I don't think I showed the replays. Too late. I'm not going to show them now because we would miss out on the preparation phase. Ok. Oh, le son par français, nice. Jet, il y a un bon accent, j'avais pas capté. Hey, thanks, man. Thanks. There you go. Que tout le monde comprenne. What do I say? What does it say? Thatcher? Yeah, Thatcher. The bans have been somewhat odd. Wait, Thatcher? No, wrong band then. It's not Thatcher? Oh gosh. Oh gosh. The ban at the top of the screen must be wrong.
Attackers have dropped the bomb diffuser. Attackers recovered the diffuser.
Bro moment. Yeah, absolutely. Just yeah. You guys are right. I just realized that. Yeah, I must have not been paying attention at the beginning of the game. Actually, to be honest, I wasn't, because I was investigating a member of the community that says he was banned on Twitch. I reviewed, the list of the banned players, or the banned users, should I say. And no, he was not banned. So, admittedly, I was not focused 100%. Oh, you know what? With the delay, with the 3 minutes delay, plus the fact that I did not show replays last round, I should be able to figure out who is banned instead of Thatcher. Round number 9. Round number 9 here is going to be played on Games and Aviation. Thatcher be like sneak 100. Yeah, he be sneaking. Thatcher be sneaking. Yeah, no, it's like a it's a Team Fortress 2 spy. Like Thatcher is banned, but it's another operator pretending to be Thatcher. Okay, right here, Toothless is going to be eating up a few ADS devices, or he's going to be eating up a few flash grenades, impact grenades, but ultimately the deployable shield does get destroyed. And, he plays for time as much as he can, but of course, eventually the attackers are going to be overwhelming his defenses. They did, and he's trying to replenish them as much as possible, but, there's a limit as to how much he can do. From on the floor, on the first floor, Amani has been outgunned, so you do have a few roamers. In this instance, you do have Putin and Autobot. It is Thermite, not Thatcher, but Thermite. Oh yeah, I do see how I could have messed up, because, both start by T. So IU is going to get a kill on Toothless Mate right here. They are looking funny, right? He is prone right there. So if he's not careful, Max could get the kill. Like he saw the tip of the hand, I believe.
Attackers dropped the diffuser.
Austin does get the kill, so that leaves the attackers with the numerical disadvantage. IU is being put down. That is not going to help whatsoever. Max looking for a refrag, just not finding him. He is going to try again. Pre-fires are going to go up, but no. Sarah's now in a 1v4 situation. Cannot push in because you still had Autobot at the first floor. Said Autobot, though, is now down. And he's done for good. But you still do have, like, or still do, had the other roamers. No longer, yeah, it was Putin, right? Putin was in the red stairs. And he came back up in the meantime. But ultimately, roaming is no longer necessary at all. Because the diffuser is in, oh gosh, that would have been an embarrassing death for Maestro. Diffuser was in study. And yet Putin kind of saved the day here. He really did. Because Maestro would have been a goner if not. Okay. Let's go with those replays. Oh yeah. I know I'm barking up the wrong tree since, you know, you guys are North American. Or I absolutely hope you are, because if you're European, what are you doing up when it's 3 a.m. or 2 a.m. if you're British? But yeah, the European side of things, the European, I want to say, community or organizers are really good. Like, we have 14 teams. We have like half a dozen casters, including an ex-CL caster, and things are running really, really smoothly. So yeah, I cannot like, having growth is really interesting because you know, simply put, to put the name out is going to help us, you know, do better or do more things. So that is all I could hope for. And it's okay, Hans, we still love you. Oh, whew, I was worried there for half a second. Yeah, so this is going to be round number 10. And yeah, so what I was saying is the EU side of things is looking really good. And yeah, I can't wait to see how when us NA admins will be able to match the tremendous work the EU guys are putting in. It is amazing. And yeah, Easy Chicks, welcome back. And I gotta say one thing, your team is looking really, really strong compared to map number 1. They lost, once again, if you guys didn't witness the first game, or the first map, they lost 72. So already they have outdone themselves by a lot. They are now leading match point situation with the 3 points lead. OnlyFans could still bring this back, hypothetically. Because at their best, they won 2 rounds back-to-back. So, you know, winning 2 rounds back-to-back, 5 points. Okay. Imagine they win a third, you know, they outdo their previous best by, you know, a slim margin. And the overtime situation would be hypothetically a go. It would be possible. And, you know, it is not too big of a stretch to imagine this kind of situation, you know, coming to pass. But still, for the time being, Vendetta, they will do their damn best to deny that kind of situation, right? So all things considered, things are looking pretty good for them. It looks like Toothless needed a way out. Oh no, he's just holding the angle, and oh, holding the angle he does. What a nice kill. And are Vendetta Esports actually going to win the map in a flawless map fashion for the last round? Because they are up 5-2. Oh, Putin being way too aggressive here. What are you doing? What are you doing? It still ends up being a flawless round! Oh, wow. I did not expect that. I thought to myself, Putin, tag like you are. How do you expect to do anything meaningful for your team? And yet he does. Yet he does. That was magnificent. There you have it. Vendetta Esports winning the game. Bringing this into the map, or the tiebreaker third map it is going to be. Let's just remind ourselves for and just to be a bit more into context. This is the upper final, so we're playing into double elimination. Out of the teams that have yet to lose their first game, we have OnlyFans and Vendetta. Vendetta were not going to let themselves go gently into the night. They were playing, you know, to win it. And they did. Now, it is going to be a tiebreaker. The winner of this game is guaranteed, at the very least, a second place. That is nice to see. That is really nice to see. Okay. So, guys, if you want to take a 2 minutes break, I'm all for it. Actually, I am going to take a 2 minutes break. I have to refill my water bottle. Talking nonstop makes you want to drink a lot. So yeah, take a break, and when I get back, I'll see if you guys are ready. So yeah, you heard me talk to the players. What I had to say to them, of course, applies to the stream as a whole. I hope you enjoyed. Don't go anywhere. Or actually, go grab a bag of popcorn, go grab, I don't know, a beer. It's not exactly Friday night, so I don't want to condone excessive drinking before a work day. But hey, anything that helps you enjoy the match, take a 5-minute break, and we'll be back extremely soon. Don't leave us. Just stay tuned. We'll be back. Hey guys, I'm back. I took maybe a minute or two to just also change up maybe one or two kind of key details on the camera. I hope the webcam looks a tiny bit better than it did, you know, with the lightning thing and everything. Okay, so it looks like Vendetta Esports, a player of them, to be specific, Putin had to leave apparently due to a family emergency. So Vendetta, they will be bringing in another sub, and you know that's fine by me. My main goal here is to have the game actually happen, right? The game I want it to be played. So better this than having, you know, the match not happen in the first place. So this is just to say, hey, we have 9 players in so far. Someone left, somebody else will be joining in, and it is a player that has played for Vendetta Esports in the Cerberus tournament. So a tournament that we're organizing, this being the league, right? So another level of play, another level of competition. In the meantime, OnlyFans, of course, they're ready already. And let's see. So the blue team's name, of course, is OnlyFans. And we have Vendetta.
Wait, you can do a roster change mid-match?
Yeah, because their player had to leave for a family emergency, is what I heard. So I allowed it, especially since Tez had already played with them on the Cerberus tournaments. So by having played another competition from us, I knew he was on the team. But if you guys want to do a roster change as well, as long as you know the other guys on the roster, I don't have a problem with that.
Get my homie Percy in there.
So yeah, OnlyFans, if you are ready, I believe you were. If you still are,
Ready as fuck.
Awesome, sounds good. Vendetta, or here Taz more than anything else, if your Moss is running, I would be good to go. Just want to specify, Orange team does start attacking, because of course OnlyFans were supposed to defend first. So like I said, if you guys are ready, I'm good to go. He's turning Moss on now. Sounds good. I will use that time to reset the map and overlay, so no operator is already banned once the game begins. And yeah. Okay, that is being displayed properly on my screen. Fonde saying loading Moss. 1 sec. I like the way they speak. By the way, I saw it, but I didn't react to it. Izzy had to leave because I believe you're working like tomorrow or early or something along those lines. Let me just find the message. Gotta head out for work. Oh, gotta head out for work. Be back once I get there. Oh, you're watching Twitch on at work. I don't know where you're working, but some employers wouldn't be fine with that. I mean, for example, if you are. I wouldn't expect, for example, I don't know, let's say a teacher, to be able to, you know, watch Twitch on working hours. But then again, why would a teacher head out at this time? Maybe a security guard, right? If nothing's happening, you keep an eye on the CCTV, and you have like your laptop or your phone to watch something else when nothing's happening. All right, so you know the drill, guys. Good luck, have fun. Let me just double check the parameters that everything is right, and then may the best team win. So yes, it is really Orange team that starts attacking first. All right, good luck, have fun, may the best team win, and here we go. That will be our third map of the night. OnlyFans were able to win the first round. The map that which they picked, by the way, Vendetta Esports won on their map. Now it is going to be a tiebreaker situation. Coastline, OnlyFans attacking first, banning therefore first. Let's see how that goes. Olin asking, what is the difference between Cerberus and Titans League? I will respond in English simply because, you know, this stream is English and a few people here don't speak French. Banning Lion? Why would you ban Lion? Okay. The Cerberus tournament would be somewhat similar or somewhat akin to ESL's old Go 4 in the sense that it is a bracket that gets played, you know, back to back to back. So you play, and at the end of the night, we have a winner. Nomad does make more sense, I gotta say. Nomad, there you have it. Whereas the league is somewhat akin to, I want to say, Pro League or Challenger League, in the sense that you register or for the game, for the tournament once. You play over a whole season. So in that instance, both teams here, they played 2 games per week for roughly 2 months. And the best teams find themselves in playoffs. And at the end of the playoffs, we have ourselves our winners. Both systems are working on a season. So once again, keeping the Cerberus tournaments and the ESL Go For analogy. If you remember how ESL had the Go For monthly, which was like the best team of the Go For weekly, best teams with the Go For weekly were invited to the monthly final, and this is where the bigger cash prize was. We're doing the same thing with the Cerberus tournament, except of having a monthly final, we have a seasonal final. So the interest is, if you discover the Titans, the DAL in the middle of the season, right? You cannot add a new team in PL in the middle of a season. So if you discover us and you want to try it out in the middle of the season, you cannot just join in. So this is where the tournaments would be really interesting. If you're free only a week from time to time, or you don't want to play every single week, Cerberus tournament is the way to go. If you want to register once to have something a bit more consistent to play against the same teams, this way you can really get to know your opponents, scout them out, all that good stuff. The league is going to be more interesting. So the main point I'm trying to make here is 2 different formulas which are trying to be interesting or be appealing to different people, basically. Okay. Our first round here is going to be on Blue Bar. This is something you don't see every day. I just wanted to point that out. And what are we going to have on Blue Bar? The answer is going to be something really interesting. Barbed wire here and there. A rotation hole, of course. Those walls will get reinforced. And the foot level of this I want to say, eastern wall is totally opened up. Dio and a mirror window, actually. Oh, that is quite interesting. So we're definitely talking about a custom, homemade strategy here. It's nothing along the lines of, let's say, the quote-unquote ranked strat, right? It will be considered, or there is a certain consensus that it is a strong strategy, but it is not, and by far the best strat ever. I mean, you wouldn't see a Pro League team use the typical ranked meta. By the way, the one thing I was supposed to keep in mind, and immediately I kind of forgot about that. Take a look at the time, right? It is past 10 p.m. EST. So people around me in the house here are kind of going to sleep slowly but surely. So I'm being asked to turn the volume down. Turning down the volume, I mean, kind of whispering and being all hyped up, does kind of clashes together, right? So I think I'm going to be casting with a bit less energy to keep the volume down, which is a bummer because this is the map, which is the most hyped up of all the 3, right? So yeah, sorry about that. I'm not losing interest in the game or anything along those lines. Damn, the IQ with the Vulcan Echo looking smart AF. There is no Echo here. Vulcan Echo ban. Oh, yeah. Yeah, a Vulcan Echo ban kind of renders IQ kind of moot, doesn't it? I mean, admittedly, you still do have the pests, and should there be a lesion, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, that was kind of a jab at Outbots' operator ban, and I gotta say, there are rules against trash talking, and it is not, a direct insult, but it was still sarcasm. So, OnlyFans, guys, please kind of tune it down, or don't let the vitriol flow. Okay. Austin here was probing. That didn't work out too great, so he's falling back. Let's see what exactly do we have here. Max is looking on the one-hand side up there, because of course it looks like it was one of Austin's impact nades. No, it wasn't so much. It must have been one of those breaching charges. Taz also falling to Dio, Ayuz, and Ayuz actually getting a double kill, I believe. That was just a flurry of kills here for OnlyFans. Vendetta Esports' push was just crumbling apart, I gotta say. Austin is trying to keep the dream alive. He's gonna be finding himself in a firefight against Amani, and he still does have the concussion nades. He could have done something really interesting here in the security room. Is there an ADS device right in the doorway? There is no ADS device, so yeah, could have done something. But instead, he gets a one-tap headshot against Dio, who never saw him coming. But now with 12 seconds remaining and no diffuser in their back pocket, he has 2 more kills to get and only 7 seconds to do so. Things are looking extremely dire. Rushing the way he does. Oh, that was dangerous. That was dangerous. Luckily for OnlyFans, Maestro didn't die, and even then you would have had Aigus, who was still there, you know, to pick up the slack. But imagine if Maestro dies, and then Ayuz peeks, and he gets flick shot. That would have been an oh shot. I did not want to show the replays. These are still the replays from the previous round. Give me half a second. There we go. Yeah, imagine if the clutch happens. That would have been insane for Vendetta Esports. It was not the case, but hey. So this will be a first round win for OnlyFans, but you know, these are the kind of rounds that kind of comes down to the wire, right? Fairly close, fairly interesting. And, you know, this kind of leads me to believe that the game isn't going to be a blowout match like the first map was. Planestalker saying, I'm expecting an ace. Max on the mirror. He did not get an ace. He got 1 kill, but really, Ayuz was the, I want to say MVP, but then again, you kind of had Maestro. Maestro played by Amani, who got the down but not out on the last player for Vendetta Esports on Austin. I want to say, yeah, it was Austin. You got the down but not out on Austin, so he kind of stole a kill, kind of really does deserve 2 frags, but hey. Our secondary bomb site here is going to be Kitchen.
10 seconds to insertion.
And on a Kitchen defense, or on a Kitchen play, what are we going to
5
have?
seconds remaining.
It is still going to be an extended hold, but it's not really going to be a vertical play. Oh, Dio preparing apparently a Reynolds spawn kill. I don't expect him to be just, you know, statically holding the angle, right? There would be no reason whatsoever to break down the barricade if it was to be the case. Amani also playing quite aggro. Let's see what exactly do we have here. The entire south or eastern side of the building is not going to be too well exposed. Oh, Amani right here playing with fire, I gotta say. He will make it out alive, but unfortunately there's no dock. And without a dock, he cannot, you know, recover the lost health. So he will just be, I want to say, a weaker component, a weaker link on the OnlyFans defense for the remainder of the round. And the round is still very young, very early on. So that is, yeah, unfortunate to say the least. Really unfortunate. Austin here is in the penthouse. So it looks like the attackers do have top control, but there is still Ayuz right here, and he's in a dead angle. Oh, Buck. Oh, Buck. Oh, Toothless. You could see that Ayuz did not want to betray his advantage before he was hopefully able to get a double, maybe even a triple kill. That didn't end up happening, but he still got, you know, a double fair and square. And now he's looking for a third. Oh, gosh, I did expect him to get it. But no, Autobot knew where he was. And now with... that is going to be Taze getting the kill. Yeah, the Jackal can be dangerous. Is that the G8? It feels like Ayuz. It feels like Ayuz is kind of taunting here. I don't want to tell this in all caps, but respectful. Sarcasm is pushing the line, so yeah, please remain respectful. So yeah, that was a kill from Amani, leaving us with a 2-3 situation. He is pushing up, trying to get another kill. That works great. Autobot is going to fall. Taze might want to try to cut off the rotation, but Amani is not coming back down. Oh yeah, he does come back down, but not in time for Taze to cut him off. So 41 seconds remaining on the clock, and he was just outflanked from many different angles, right? So there you have it. OnlyFans winning round number 2, and they're off to a fairly good start. And the interesting thing is their bomb sites, I want to say, order is really out of what you would expect. It is not the typical go up top, then kitchen, and then blue bar. No, they did this, you know, upside down basically. And there you have it. Blue bar 1, kitchen 1. They're gonna go without any surprise and hookah billiards. And this will be their next play. Of course, you guys cannot see it just yet because of the rehost of the replays rather. But yeah, we will be defending up here. Oh, did I just start recording with shadow plane? Yeah, we don't need that. OBS is taking care of that. Okay, so yeah, we have a third map here, which third round, which is going to come on billiards. And Sarah is just getting to work. That was a big rotation hole. Works pretty great, doesn't it? And yeah, my question is, I have with the G8, he aimed like godly. Okay, got. Okay. As the admin, I'm not supposed to be looking to apply a sanction except if the other team asks me to. But to be honest, if Vendetta were to ask here, I would have to say OnlyFans, you guys are kind of pushing the line. For first offense, it would be a warning, but it would be a really strong warning. There's no point in typing those messages in chat other than to not necessarily tilt or anger your opponent, but at the very least to throw them off guard, you know? Or to disorient them, if I could put it this way. And this is not something we want to have, right? It's not a fair way to play the game. So once again, OnlyFans, please cut it out. Or if not, type in team chat. I mean, if you want to vent, if you're angry about something, just the jab that you had to say, type it in team chat. This way you're kind of metaphorically punching or hitting a punching bag, which is there to, you know, it's the thing's purpose, right? So yeah, just type it, vent your anger, but don't exactly let the other team see it, because then that exactly, like Pain Stalker is saying in chat, don't be toxic, guys, don't. Okay, so Tez is using the Hibana X Kairos, already opening up this reinforced wall right here, so Amani is likely to feel the pressure. Oh, he is actually sorely exposed. He is in the middle of the corridor. He wins his firefight there, gets a first kill, but ultimately he wasn't in a pickle. He wasn't in a dangerous situation. There you will have Oryx. Austin getting the kill on Ceres, leaving us with a 2v4 situation. The defenders are slowly but surely, you know, being pushed back. They still have a really strong control over bomb site. Like, there is no real danger of having the diffuser planted under their nose in the next few seconds, but it is still a dangerous situation to be in. Right here, Blackbeard will be surprised, caught off guard, and that is diffuser lost for the attackers, and therefore Max is now in a really good position. He no longer has to be too worried about his back and that kind of stuff, right? Still, of course, if he gets pushed, if he gets flanked, that's the thing, but he no longer has to be too worried about the diffuser being planted. However, Max falling down, leaving us with Dio in a 1v2 situation. Said worry is going to be revived by having Austin recover the diffuser. Dio, therefore, is somewhat limited in what he can do. Oh, he could get a wall bang there if he has any kind of intel. Like, for example, is the aquarium camera still up? I don't expect it to be, but, you know, should it have been a stupid mistake, something that Vendetta have forgotten about, it would be a really easy way to get a kill on Austin in such a fashion that Austin would not get any kind of chance whatsoever to fight back. But, oh no! It would be Dio who falls to such a simplistic ploy, I want to say. Like, they saw him, he was looking there, he didn't expect them to be there actually, and yeah. Does Vendetta still have a trash ping? Let me check real quick. No, the pings are pretty good tonight. I mean, 88, 87. We are in the technically, you know, lobby stream. Ref is me or okay. Okay, I see. But I mean, still, it could tilt or throw the Vendetta team off, and that is something we don't want to see. Those were blue team defenses. I'm used, of course, to have the orange team defending first. So when I saw OnlyFans winning twice, I typed orange team in the notebook, which is not the case. Yeah. Round number 4, it is going to be. Are you saying no problem, Pain Stalker? And yeah, we just keep. Let me check now that we are in an actual game. Yeah, if I was to just, I don't want to say defend or take sides, if I were just to explain it, Vendetta, they had a player that was from Hawaii. And, you know, there's no way in hell that you're going to have a decent playing on COS when you're from Hawaii. And to not exclude, you know, those remote regions from the US, Pro League does have to allow up to 150 milliseconds of ping for their matches, which is, you know, a lot, unfortunately, and everything. I totally get it, but that's just the reality of it, right? Optic fiber runs at the speed of light, but when the distances are this great, hey, it still happens. I'm going to say good news here is that the player from Hawaii, I'm no longer sure exactly who that was, but he's not going to be there. And yeah, so it is unfortunate, so I have to say that, yay, that guy's not here, not in the sense that I don't like him or I don't want to see him, but, you know, just for simplicity's sake, not dealing with those pings is going to make my job easier tonight.
A bomb has been located.
But yeah, we just keep, of course, I know who you are. I remember, like, I know where the question comes from, and I totally get why you want to ask. Yeah, so we are going to have Vendetta seemingly wanting to push from the top floor. A top-down, I want to say, approach would be fairly typical for them. And at this point, it looks like OnlyFans are aware of that playstyle. So we'll have, for example, Ayus here at the top floor, already inflicting some damage on Austin. Sayers also up here, but he just dropped down the main hatch, leaving us with, oh, well, Ayus also came down. And just in time, because he's going to be facing up against Fonde, who does have the shield, but he does not even need it since he doesn't take any kind of fire in return. Autobot here, however, gets an Electro Cell tossed at his feet, but he can just use it and turn it around and use the opening to attempt to shoot at Dio, but alas, the angle it gives isn't too great now, is it?
Bomb located by attacker.
So Dio doesn't have to worry too much, but that could become a bit dangerous. Yeah, of course, the mirror window will get destroyed. What is Sabata doing? Okay, she's breaching the hatch, because of course she is. Autobot getting a kill on Max. This is going to be putting the attackers at a solid enough advantage, but right here the shield is going to betray Fonda's position, and of course he dies. When he goes to the 4v3 situation, the defense still has a fairly strong control over OBJ, but, you know, it is fairly strong, not perfect. Like, Dio, especially right here, that now that Dio has rotated, he no longer really has a line of sight on A. Ceres has a narrow angle, a narrow hole on A at best. So it's just a question of, are Vendetta aware of that? Are they going to try to push, you know, the weak link in OnlyFans' defense? And it seems to be the case, I want to say, because right here, for example, Taze is rotating to push out one blue bar. There is, I believe, somebody else helping him out. That was Austin. Austin being cautious of Amani's position. And that is going to be a reasonable, I want to say, fear and reasonable security defensive setup in place. But at the same time, that kind of makes it so that Taz was pushing up alone. Amani getting a kill on Autobot. That was strong, but the diffuser is now getting planted. There's a ping on the right-hand side. Heavy pre-fires, but this is not going to get an easy kill. But the attacker was in the hard right, and he just moves back and forth right here. Ash is going to get the final lap, leading us to Amani. Only 3 situation. He is still looking for the kill, but, you know, heavy pre-fires are not going to win it out this time around. He is going to have to move up, because if he goes up, you know, following the courtyard, he is just going to be so exposed. That is not going to work out too great now, will it? Rushing up. This is interesting. There is first and foremost somebody up here. That was a lot of time just to get here. And I gotta say, I don't think the time used is going to be worth it, because of course he runs, and that makes a lot of noise, and Taze was ready for this. So, a 2-2 situation it is going to be. And we are thus going to have Vendetta Esports once again tied to OnlyFans, and neither team's just being able to get the upper hand. This is the kind of match you want to see. Yeah, Ayuz right here was not ready for Blackbeard's position whatsoever. But then again, Amani absolutely was. I gotta say, Fawn didn't move too much that round. He gets a kill, pushes forward, given time, he pushes forward, and then he loses his gunfight. But that's just the nature of the beast. The interesting thing is, OnlyFans, they were successful in defending Blue Bar once, but not twice. they didn't win billiards in the first place. So the only bomb site on which they are still undefeated is kitchen.
Attackers need to locate
And
and
it is going to be a
defuse
kitchen defense right here. So, interestingly,
bomb located
what I
by
want to point out is if Vendetta were to win on this bomb site right here, I want to say it would bode very well for them for the entire map, as far as I'm concerned. Because if they show themselves as being capable of winning on every single bomb site, you can realistically expect them to win any round, or maybe even every round. So yeah, basically removing any kind of stronghold or impregnable position from OnlyFans
5 seconds
is
left
really,
before
really good for the morale as well, right? Okay,
Attackers are heading out to
OnlyFans
defuse
are
the
still
bomb.
playing quite aggro. This is undeniable. Max attempting the spawn kills, but if you look at the attackers, all 5 of them have spawned on main entrance on the eastern side. So there is not going to be any spawn kills that are going to work from Max, and nobody else was playing or was, you know, tearing down barricades to shoot at the attackers from that side. Here, Ceres might receive a bit of company, but yeah, they're droning, they're rappelling up. Fonde, will he maybe come in from this the side entrance door? I kind of doubt it, and therefore, even though Ceres and Dio are really well placed to, you know, cut off the initial insertion, I didn't deem it too likely. Apparently, I was wrong. Right here, you have Fonde who tries to, you know, push him forward. It kind of works. He attracts the attention, turns the defenders around, and if he is good enough, he could be a good distraction to, you know, cause OnlyFans to forget that the top floor control that the attackers have. But yeah, that was not going to happen too easily, right? Toothless getting an easy kill on Dio. You have Ceres, who's playing verticality. If he is unaware of Fonde, that could be an easy kill for him, but no, that doesn't happen. Bonnie right here, top floor, getting killed on Austin, leaving us with Max, kind of looking once again for Montaigne, but what can he do? Oh, Ceres' nitrous, that could be really dangerous, but it was anticipated. Vendetta bailing out in the right second, at the right moment. But right here, Ceres can be quite dangerous. I gotta say, both teams having lost only a single player is gonna be, you know, inconclusive. Neither team really having the upper hand or a decisive advantage. But they are good enough, or their hold on the objective itself is good enough to deny a plant. And ultimately, this is kind of what matters, because Vendetta, they really did commit a lot of effort to get at the diffuser planted, not to get, you know, overwhelming map control or to just outfrag their opponents. No, they just wanted to secure just a subsection of the side entrance, basically corridor, and they wanted to get the diffuser planted in that, you know, small secured area of the map. And yeah, that didn't work out too great. They had to bail, and it left them with nothing, right? No kills, no, you know, defenses being, you know, destroyed one after the other. No hard breaching, no wall being hard breached, no obvious flaw in the defensive setup, no kills, nothing along those lines.
Attackers have located a bomb.
Pain Stalker saying, I'm glad to see this is a close match, and not just one side wrecking the other. Gotta say, first map number 1 was this kind of situation. OnlyFans winning 7-2. But yeah, Vendetta, they woke up, and waking up is exactly what they needed to do. As yeah, the second game they lost, and that match right here is looking really, really tense. Okay, let's go with the replays. Yeah, exactly. I think right here is going to illustrate really well what I was talking about. Max getting the first kill. Was that on Fonde or on Austin? I will have to watch them again. But once that angle of the push was cut off, I mean, Autobot and Taz, they had to rush in. They had to try to do something, because only 15 seconds were left on the clock. But they really couldn't do anything. Like, could they? Right here, Ceres is getting an easy double kill and kind of doing a yes motion with the head. Alright, let's look at it again. That was Fonde. Okay, so Max got the kill on Fonde, which then enabled the second kill to happen on Toothless Mage. I see. So yeah, round number 6, last round before the role swap, is going to go on billiards. Okay, Mani. So we're gonna be having a top floor defense, and let's just open up a parenthesis regarding this kind of playstyle. In that instance, OnlyFans, they won their defense, right? But they didn't win their defense on round 3 and 4 on respectively billiards and blue bar. And for example, after losing on billiards, instead of going there again, or on blue bar, instead of going there again, they went into the next map in their order of preference. And this is something that every team does. Actually, they would be, I want to say, in a minority there. Right? Like for example, if Vendetta lose on their primary bomb site, they will try to go there again, patch up what didn't work, and go for a second time, basically. The OnlyFans are stubbornly just picking the next bomb site, no matter if they win or if they lose. And this is unique and interesting because it throws their opponents off guard, and they're not kind of falling into a routine. Oh, well, they are in the routine of changing bomb sites, but in their play styles and their habits, they're not becoming complacent, basically. And this is a key difference I wanted to point out between OnlyFans, who are currently on their last defensive round, and with Vendetta, who will be defending, like I said, basically next round. Toothless, you're trying something, but he is going to be, his position is going to be known. Oh, I used that drone. Probably didn't see him. Oh gosh, 'cause I believe the drone was looking up the stairs. If he has not been spotted out, that could be really dangerous. Like, let's look at this. The advantage of surprise, assuming it's still okay. I have to keep on watching this drone. No, he's not gonna go up cool live stairs. Oh, how unfortunate! How unfortunate. Let's not talk about first. Let's not. It would be embarrassing for Vendetta. But I gotta say, like, they lost 7-2 and they won 7-3, 7-4. They won 7-3. All right, so they lost really bad, and they won, not as good as they lost. So if the match was just to end here, you could say that, in spirit, OnlyFans won, right? But ultimately, that really does not matter. Like, if you lose by a blowout match, or if you win by a really narrow margin, it is of no consequence. Because ultimately, what we want to know is who wins the map, who wins the game, who wins, who's the first one to get 7 points, or, in overtime is the first one to get to 8 points. So, yeah. Ultimately, the first map is of little consequence, or the second one, since it was a bad defeat for OnlyFans. Okay, it is gonna be now a 1-3 situation. Autobot with now 19 seconds on the clock. He has all of his health. So do every player on OnlyFans. And now 15 seconds. He has to rush up. He tries. He gets one down. That was Doc, by the way. With the 3 armor. Gotta give props where props is due. But that is just the end of it, right? He had 3 kills to go. Not enough time to run from one defender to the other to get like every single kill. Neither could he have planted the diffuser. So what could he have done? The unfortunate answer is next to nothing. And there we have it. OnlyFans and Vendetta are not going to be toe-to-toe. It is going to be a 4-2 split, just like we had last time around. But unlike last time, it is going to be a OnlyFans lead. Because I want to point this out. OnlyFans are defending first here on the blue team. It's the unexpected side, just like last game. And last game, the map was just attack sided, or the first half was attack sided. This time, OnlyFans are leading. That is for damn sure. And it goes to show that stratting a map is really, really important. Like, I remember, I want to say when I was in a team on Call of Duty, like eons ago. Like, there really weren't too many strats in Call of Duty because there is not too much to strat. Like, power positions were next to non-existent. The cover or the maps were really, really simple polygons. Like when you are hidden behind, for example, I don't know, a truck or a car. It is basically a box shape. No power position, no way to have a easy head glitch or anything along those lines. So we would just like work on our aim and our colors. Rainbow Six is an entire different beast. Hi Zog, how are you doing? Welcome on the stream. And yeah, we have. I had opened up an anecdote, like talking about how well the EU side is doing since it started, you know, basically this week, and they're popping really good. So I said, hey, we have to step up the game here on NA to meet what the EU players are doing. So yeah, like we're always working on other projects behind the scenes. And the one pet project for Zug right here, once it is once it comes to fruition, I cannot wait to talk to you guys about this. Okay, Autobot is right here in Sarah's entrance. He seems to be contemplating it well. Yeah, he is going to be attempting this. There's no Claymore, that's the good news. The bad news is, yeah, there's nobody there. So, try as he may, he is not going to get any kills by doing so. Though it did catch the attacker's attention. Like Amani here is going to be turning around. And if the round was to happen again, now he would be exposed. And he seems to know that, right? Even though Austin, or Autobot rather, is... Oh, he is going to try it again, it looks like. Thing is, now he might be expected. Yeah, he is expected. Plus, that's the bad news. The good news is, even just the idea of him running out, even if he does not actively commit to that, it would be bad news enough because the attackers have to turn around, right? Amani now knows there's no longer a threat behind him, so he can concentrate 100% of his energy and of his, I'm going to say, focus to attacking the bomb site. And taking Autobot out of the picture, more than just getting a kill, it buys kind of a peace of mind, which he didn't have previously. Being utterly blind, Taze could be rushed. Oh, he is going to be blinded. He makes it out alive somehow. That is the good news. The bad news is Fondy dies on their max's fire. Now in a 1v3 situation, Toothless kind of trying to stay alive at the top floor. That doesn't work out too well. Now Austin gets a nice kill, but it's still a 1v4. The diffuser is outside, neither attacker have it, so somebody will have to rotate out. But yeah, the tip of like the shoulder or the elbow was poking out. That was for damn sure. It was Ayus who got it, and yeah, basically the entire side was showing. How unfortunate! How unfortunate. So Vendetta Esports are unfortunately on their way to losing it. I mean, they can still come back from this, right? They were able to win 2 rounds in a row. Just do that again, and we're almost tied, right? Imagine a 5-4 scoreline. It's not as intimidating as a 5-2, but their margin for error diminishes by the round, right? If they lose another points, it is match point. They will be backs against the wall, and in that situation, in that instance, any mistake would be fatal. It would cost them literally a spot in the grand final, except if they can win the losers final. But that is not guaranteed whatsoever. So yeah, you guys know the drill, right? It is what it is. But OnlyFans are looking really good now. By the way, our last defense here, number 7, was on kitchen. Not on kitchen, rather blue bar. Has been won by the blue team. It was an offensive win. And now it is going to be round number 8. And round number 8 is going to be played in kitchen this time around.
Attackers have discovered the location of a bomb.
It's going to be played in kitchen.
10 seconds left.
And let's take a look at the setup. So, whenever you see these wall, or the top of this wall being reinforced, or be opened up rather, you kind of expect to have a defender come at the top floor because the angle is, you know, from that kind of window-ish thingy, from the verticality through the opening to keep an eye out on that window. So I totally do expect to see some top floor control or top presence from Vendetta. It looks like it's going to be coming in the form of Toothless and Austin roaming at the top floor. But are we going to be seeing OnlyFans either contesting it or totally ignoring the top in, you know, hopes of just rushing in and planting the diffuser, for example, in the side entrance? Okay, side entrance would be a really optimistic scenario since there is no Montang, there's no abundance of like smoke grenades, no Ying or anything along those lines. Oh, this is likely to be the end of Fondy right here. Fondy's tagged, I assume, right? No, it is actually Jaeger. Oh, wow. Let's see if this time Fondy gets tagged. Yeah, Fondy now is going to be tracked. How does he survive to that? Saris, how did you miss this? Wow, that is going to be really unfortunate for Jackal, but there you have it. He was powerless to cut off the rotation, and now, of course, right, Fonde is back behind the reinforcement, or the fortress that the defenders that Vendetta Esports have, you know, put together during the preparation phase. Toothless right here. That could be a nice kill. Ayuz will lose a lot of health, but he is still alive. So nicely done, but better luck next time. The unfortunate news is, since Ayuz is going to be expecting that, I don't expect to be a next time. Toothless knows it, and you know he has to get out of there. Boosted by Finka. Does that mean there's going to be a rush Dio getting a nice kill? Sarah's another one at the same time. He gets a flick shot! Nicely done! Taze now in 1v4 situation with fire. Has to rotate out. He has all of his health, but his control of bomb site is fairly small. And no, caught off guard while reloading! Sarah's, that was a triple kill, wasn't it? Yeah, right here, Sarah's coming in. It was ultimately an easy kill, right? Smoke was reloading. He was not ready whatsoever, but still, match point situation it is going to be. Sarah's and OnlyFans are now very, very likely to be at the very least second. In worst case scenario, they're going to be second now, it looks like, since they would be kicked into the grand final. I mean, they still have to win the last round, don't get me wrong, right? Their victory is not yet cemented in stone. They can still just start choking, but then I can still just come back in a brutally efficient fashion. And, you know, for the spectacular fashion of the thing, part of me kind of hopes to see a comeback. An attempt to a comeback at the very least. Like, I have to stay neutral, right? I want both teams to win just as bad as I want the other one to win. But you know, having like the underdog story, or you know, some attempt at momentum be made would be nice. One thing is for damn sure, Vendetta, they can no longer afford any kind of mistakes whatsoever, because now they are truly, well and truly backs against the wall. And it looks like OnlyFans are aware of that, because they are doing things that you would not expect a team that is, you know, this, I want to say, confident in their bases. For example, let's talk about the Amaru or Seer. Let's talk about Finka. Those two operators, I mean, from time to time, you might see them maybe-ish in a competitive, non-ironic way. But these operators together, you know, you might even maybe want to bunch Kapitao in there, or, you know, even Ash. They bring very little utility to the table. It really seems to be a frag-heavy composition. And unfortunately, the frag part of the frag-heavy term is going to be lackluster. Ayuz is biting the dust extremely early on, leaving us with a 5v4 situation. Autobot getting another kill on Sarah's. Wow. Yeah, the run. Oh, that natural soul is not going to do anything, does it? Amani was right there. I hadn't realized that. Unfortunately, it does not hit anything. But you know, I want to say, part of me says fortunately, because seeing a 2v5 situation and every kill happening due to a spawn kill or, you know, run out kind of thing would have been really unfortunate for OnlyFans. That was just a distraction, but guys, they're rushing in. Dio getting a kill right here. They're now on bomb site. Diffuser is being planted, and virtually every single defender was roaming. You know, heavy spawn kills, right? So that rush is kind of working out. Toothless getting one, looking for another. Right here, Autobot is also looking. Oh no, Mani gets the kill. Toothless, last player alive in a 1v2 situation. He is looking, but he was clueless. OnlyFans winning this. GG's to OnlyFans, who are now guaranteed a spot in the final. At worst, they are second in the entire season. This is not a bad spot to be in. They can still play against any other team, right? Since this is double elimination, neither team has been eliminated for good. We are going to have next Monday, actually, the match between Mishmash Gaming and Hostile Actions. People may have their opinions on how this match is going to turn out. I am going to keep my own impressions quiet for the time being. Once again, gotta remain neutral. The winner of that game would then next week play against Vendetta Esports, who just lost, and in 2 weeks' time, the winner of that other game would play against OnlyFans and Vendetta
Attackers are
final.
activating.
Okay, so you guys know the drill. I will try to get the guys in for an interview. Let's get in right here. Let's try not to poke Sarah's. And oh shit, I'm sorry, caps lock. You know what's up?
Attackers are activating.
Okay, yeah, so let's just delete the message and remove them. Remove the caps lock. Let's here add the fact that OnlyFans have won the map. And let's add this into Battlefy. So right here in Battlefy, the first game, it was a 2-1. The first game was 2-7. The second match was 7-3. And this one was another unfortunate 7-2. So here we have it done. Vendetta Esports. Like I said, they aren't out of the tournament just yet. They can still win it if they... Oh, God damn it. If they are to basically win everything from that point on, like Vendetta. They just have to win against the winner of that match, and they are up in the final again. Hey, that is going to... That's not Sarah's voice. That is Dio, is it?
Yeah, but I'm also.
Yeah, it's the answers.
Yeah. It seems like we are both, or all of us are somewhat quiet because, yeah, it is somewhat late, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah. So how are you doing? Like, you must be feeling pretty good because you just won and you are now qualified for the grand final.
Yeah, that's cool.
That is good to hear. Let's talk about the games a little bit. Let's get an interview going. So my first question to you guys would be, why and how are you capable of beating Vendetta? Like, no offense to Vendetta, but like you won 7-2. The two matches that you won 7-2. So, you know, looking at the game, you were the better team. But how did you lose 7-3 when you were capable of beating them this bad on the other maps?
Okay, I don't know if you realize, but like, I'm definitely the best player in my team. Like, everyone is so far behind. And on the second map, I wasn't getting any kills. So you know, my team is like usually like they expect me to drop a lot, and you know that's one.
Okay. So you were supposed to carry them, and you didn't carry them for the second map.
Honestly, I don't know. I mean, you need to know, like, we weren't supposed to play with Ayus tonight. That was our last minute roster change. We were not expecting that.
But things went very well on the first map, and like eventually we had no practice with Ayus, and
I think we got too confident on Villa.
Okay.
Then Cyrus started like whiffing all of his shots. Then we lost that game.
Okay, and then you became, I want to say, more serious again for the next game, for the third game.
That's the totally reverse. Like, at some point we said, guys, we know we're better than them, because I'm pretty sure they counter-strategized us a bit on Villa. I'm not sure how much it was why we lost, but there was some effort from them on that side. And like, I just gave the call, guys, we're better than them, and like they rely on us to do the push we always do, just go rank style, and it didn't work on Villa, but we were not in the mood to change that on Coastline. Coastline is Coastline. Like, if you want, you can just pick everything and still win. So that's how we decided to play.
Coastline is a frag heavy map, isn't it? So you kind of mean that you became kind of less sophisticated to be less predictable, and that worked out?
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
I see. Just to respond really quickly to Painstalker, non, il n'y a pas d'autres matchs ce soir. Ça, c'était le dernier ce soir. For you guys...
French?
Yeah, that was French.
Okay, good.
So, I am just going to announce real quick that the other game that was supposed to be played this week is going to be played Monday. So, I do allow the games to overflow a little bit. I mean, the matches are never played at the beginning of the week, are they? So, yeah, the other match is going to be played Monday. Then the losers final is going to be played during the same week, and basically next week you guys don't have a match, right? Since you're in the grand final, and you're waiting for your opponent to be known. And I assume you'd want to like watch the stream and counter strat them. So this is why I'm kind of stating when the match is going to be played. But other than that, I mean, the best of 3 was somewhat interesting. For example, if we talk about the first game on Argon, you were attacking first, and your attack was, I want to say, spot on, right? You, for example, when you were defending, or when they were defending the top floor on dorms, I mean, it is typical at this point, but you have the Hibana going in the walk-in closet for Master's bedroom, Maverick going on the attic area, and you know the two-sided push works every single time, it looks like. But they themselves were doing the same thing when they were attacking, and that didn't work out too great. So when the basic components are the same on both teams, when they're doing the same thing, how were you winning your rounds when they weren't? If you kind of get the question I'm asking.
Yeah, I get it, but once again, like they stratted Oregon like 3 times this week, and
Okay.
those guys like they were like very ready to play.
Okay, it really was your pick, your map pick, wasn't it?
Yeah,
I
and
see.
I think
I mean, it was our map pick, but also we
Like-
were also like better in gun
Basically,
skills.
yeah, basically, like what we said at the beginning of this week is we expect to be Counter Strike on Villa, because last time we played Vendetta on Villa, we won 7-0.
Okay.
And we expected like them to Counter Strike us on Villa because it's a map we played a lot this season, and I don't know, I had the feeling they would bring us on that map, but we didn't add that this time in like a good enough map pool to decide to ban Villa.
I see.
So like it was like the map we gave to them, that we chose to give to them, and we wanted to bring them on something new, something that we never showed.
Okay, yeah, because that's right. You guys hadn't played Oregon for the entire season so far, right?
No, not at all.
I see, because it had come up once or twice, and I had forgotten that you guys never ended up playing it. Quite interesting. So I think, yeah, I mean, there's not too many questions that popped to my mind. Just like we talked about last time, when you were defending and when you lost the defense, you still went to the next round, to the next, I want to say, defense in your list, right? Losing primary bomb site, you still go on the secondary bomb site. You're not trying to salvage or to fix what didn't work and go at it again. So that was like the one thing we had talked about last time.
All right, I need
that
to go through.
All right, no worries. But I was kind of wrapping things up. I was going to say, hey, your playstyle was generally the same. We had talked about it last interview, so I don't have too many new questions or too many new, I want to say, phenomenons to bring up and to dissect. So once again, congratulations for your victory. Like I said, you're not going to have a match next week, but in 2 weeks. In the meantime, I assume you're going to be interested in watching the streams or the VODs to counter strats whoever you end up playing against. And yeah, so let's go with you guys' expectations. Who do you expect to play against in the grand final?
To be honest,
I don't know. I don't care.
to be honest, we're just ready for anyone.
Okay.
Honestly, I think if Hostile Action s'ils réussissent à fermer leur gueule puis pas trash talk, ils vont aller en finale.
Ok.
Non mais parce que tu sais, ils sont fait. They lost a map against Vendetta because they got to report.
It is possible. I wasn't there. It was another
okay.
admin and another caster managing this.
Okay.
So yeah, I heard that their game didn't go flawlessly, but yeah, the specific details I
I
wasn't
think
there.
that the better team is Hostile Actions.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Because we lost against them too, but we also won against them. But
Yeah, you
Alright.
lost once and you won.
I
I
You
think
won
that
once.
the
Yeah,
best team is NTNS, but
they
what do
aren't
you
there.
say?
we're not there.
Exactly.
But
Don't
I
start.
Can
I
I make a
heard-
shootout?
Yeah, go ahead.
Shootout to Pen Stalker because he's the goat. He was in your chat all day and like he's.
Oh, yeah, he was.
So
He was.
shootout to him. Love you,
Yeah, hey,
Raph.
shout out to
Ouais,
Pain
je
Stalker.
comprends pas sa gueule.
No, je t'aime, Raph.
Yeah, but I heard a few of the NTNS guys are maybe going to just build up another team together and be the spiritual successor to that team. So let's see what happens. Right. I think I'm running out of subjects, and instead of talking or walking in circles and just repeating myself time and time again, we're gonna end this here. So wrap this up. Congratulations. I look forward to see you guys in final. Until then, have a nice time and stratting, counter stratting, scouting, and all that good stuff. Your opponents, and yeah, take the 1 week vacation that you get to prepare yourself and to come in absolutely ready for your final, guys.
All right, see you in the final.
Yeah, for
All right.
sure.
Thank you for being here, and see you guys in a week. Bye bye.
Welcome.
Yeah, jolly guy.
And yeah, this is gonna be it for us tonight. Thank you all for being here. I hope you had a blast. I know I did. Those best of threes are always nice in a sense, because given the fact that you have 3 maps, you don't have to get 3 map bans done. You don't have to invite the players 3 times back to back. It kind of makes the entire night run a bit smoother, right? So I enjoyed it. I hope you guys enjoyed it too. Yeah, see you guys Monday night for the other game, and we're gonna make sure that the lower final happens pretty quickly after that as well. But until then, guys, have an amazing rest of the night. Take it easy, and see you next time. Bye bye.
Attackers drop the diffuser. seconds remaining.